Okay, welcome to another show of Politics or Politics You Decide with Brother Tula Cabon and Brother Justin Barnett.
Yes.
And we have an outstanding guest, Mr. Jonathan Kenlock. He's running for District 2 for Wayne County Commissioner. We're excited for him to be here. So, okay.
Let's give it up to him.
Let's go there first. And y'all know what I always say. You know, I always have to put this out here. And if you hear the sound of my voice, that means God has blessed you to see another day. Prayers go up, blessings come down. So I always start the show out that way. So without further ado, let Justin see what he got to say. Good brother. Go ahead.
Oh, Jonathan Kenlock, it's an honor for you to come to the show. I want to give y'all a clap again.
No doubt.
Let's go. Let's go.
No doubt.
Northwestern High School. Yeah. Come on.
Big N.O. That's where it all started, back there.
So
yeah.
I want to read a little bit. Now listen, and I'm just saying this out of respect. And I'm saying this, and please, I get justice what justice is due. That's the kind of person I am. When I read his bio, I was absolutely amazed. He's the modern day Imhotep. Anybody know about Imhotep in Africa? I always tell people we can multitask. Mr. Jonathan Kenlock is a perfect example of black excellence as far as all his achievements and accomplishments. So let me just read some of them. Commissioner Jonathan C. Kenlock is dedicated public servant, currently serving his second term as Wayne County Commissioner. He holds a significant role as the chair of the Committee of Ways and Means and is an active member of several other committees, including the Committee on Public Service, Committee on Economical Development, and Committee on Public Safety, Judiciary, and Homeland Security. And let's keep going. The Commissioner Kenlock serves as Vice Chair of Special Committees on the Criminal Justice Complex and is a member of the Special Committee on Behavioral Health. His work in the communities help ensure fair and equitable treatment for all residents, particularly in the areas of criminal justice and mental health. His dedication to these issues contributes to the overall well-being and safety of the community. Let's keep going. Commissioner Kenlock's influence extends nationally as he serves on the U.S. Global Leadership Coalition, known as the acronym USGLC, Michigan Advisory Committee, is Vice Chair of Finances, Pension, and Intergovernment Affairs, Stern Committee, and is Vice Chair of the Large Urban County Caucus, acronym LUCC, for the National Association of County Officials, NACO acronym. He also is the chair of the 13th Congressional District Democratic Party and the 3rd Vice Chair of Michigan Democratic Party. Important right here. Yes. His faith is an integral part. Listen, can I get amen on that?
Amen. Amen.
His faith is an integral part of his life, and he is a member of Triumph Church in Detroit.
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go. Come on.
And I ain't even finished, but that's it. I'm just going to leave it there. Hey. Okay, Mr. Kenlock, so can you now introduce yourself to the people?
Thank you. So I'm Jonathan Kenlock, and I'm a lifelong Detroiter. Grew up in the area called the Old West Side, for those folks who know about the whole Tyron, Stanford, and the Number Street area. Went to Northwestern High School, and that's where I first got started in Northwestern High School in volunteering in politics. I was an intern for the late, great Irma L. Henderson, who was the council president. I started with her when I was in the 9th grade. I was on Northwestern High School Student Council and just understood the importance of making sure my voice was heard. And then not only my voice, but made sure that I was able to speak up for others who had similar sort of issues as myself. From Northwestern, I learned so much from the teachers and just from that whole experience, but also the experience of growing up in my neighborhood. Mm-hmm. Because back in that day, we had block clubs all over the city of Detroit. The whole city was it was organized. Mm-hmm. And so you had a lot of, you didn't have one active group, you didn't have activists in single parts of the city. You had activists all over who spoke up for their communities. And so I graduated from high school. I enrolled into Wayne State. I started working at Trend Industries, which was a metal fabricating company, similar to what it was one of the competitors of Dave Bing Industries. And so eventually I began to build in relationships, with a number of different folks, and I had an experience and an opportunity to meet the recording groups, various recording groups, back in the early 90s, and eventually I wound up going into the music industry.
Awesome.
So I started road managing for High Five, Jive RCA recording group High Five, and then I became the manager. And then later I went on to become co-owner of 2000 Watts Music, where we started producing music. We did Busta Rhymes, Janet Jackson, My Body, LSG, just
Man.
a host of 300 some odd songs. So that was a great experience. But through all of that experience, I never ever gave up my interest in making sure my voice was heard in politics. So I stayed engaged, stayed involved, even as I traveled around the country. Now I came back home, and then I began to continue to be involved in politics. And so in 2015, I became chair of the 13th Congressional District. At that time, Congressman John Conyers was the congressman. And later, Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib succeeded him, and now we have Congressman Sri Thanadar. I also, as you mentioned, am as vice chair, third vice chair of the Michigan Democratic Party, and it's important in all of these roles to make sure that we speak up when necessary. And I saw that, some people like to sit on boards and commissions just to sit there. I sit there and make sure that whatever experiences, whatever opportunities that I'm able to make better from those positions and those roles, I try to make a difference in that. And so in 2017, I was appointed to the Wayne County Board of Canvassers, in which in 2020, when you had Donald Trump, who lost Michigan's election, chose to basically deny that he lost that election, but he also tried to call into Detroit. So as they're talking about Donald Trump and the issues around him relating to elections, Detroit had a direct impact and was directly impacted by Donald Trump and his denying. But not only did he deny that he lost the election, he actually called two of my colleagues on the County Board of Canvassers to convince them to change their vote from certifying the election to not certifying the election, which would mean that not only Detroit's votes would have not have been counted, which they initially wanted to do, but the entire Wayne County's votes would not have been counted. And so myself and my Democratic colleague, we convinced the Republicans to do the right thing. And then once the election was certified, of course, the rest is history. He has continued to deny that he lost the election in Michigan and lost the election across the country. So that's me in a nutshell, but I try to condense a lot of it.
So I want to ask, okay, it's a few questions. I'll just do a great job.
That's real.
I mean,
that's real right there.
You got more stuff than that, right?
Come on.
You're a professor. So, and I said, so let me ask you this, because some people don't understand that in schools, your career to start out molding yourself to be what you want to be, to start in high school. For instance, you joined student council. That taught you how to be a leader, how to speak, how to take concerns. Now look where you are now.
Yes.
Absent that, you feel it would have took you longer to become the person that you are, as far as being able to focus and understand how to take issue, departmentalize them for people. Let me ask you that.
Good question.
Let me say this. God has blessed me with the opportunity, and this is what I tell people, that find something that you enjoy doing, whatever it is. Whatever it is, find something that you enjoy doing. Because if you master that and master that craft, and not chase after money, if you just master the craft, the money and all of those benefits will come along. It's people who are always chasing after that dollar that never seem to get and find satisfaction. So what I didn't say was that I started Wayne State University. And while I was at Wayne State University, I had to make a decision. I had to make a decision whether to stay in school or look at this opportunity to go on the road and manage a recording group and to work for myself and to be able to build a company and opportunities for myself. I had to decide whether to stay in school or to go work for myself. And I made the decision to go and work for myself. And so what you just said is so important, because what I did was learn from some of the greatest minds in the recording music industry who took me under their wings and taught me the business of music. I had opportunity to work with and meet a number of the folks that folks are talking about right now, including Sean Puffy Combs. He and I have been friends for a number of years, even back when he was an intern at Uptown. People forget about that, when he was Andre Harrell's intern. And he not only was an intern, but he was the person that was doing all the A&R for Uptown and back in those days, and eventually grew off into who he is now. You have Michael Kaiser, who was an intern at Def Jam, and who's now the president of Atlantic Music Group. So it was an opportunity to be a part of making music history during those days. But like you said, it started in high school, that passion of understanding not only the art of government, because Irma Henderson, when I interned for her, the first thing she did, like imagine a ninth grader, giving them the city charter, the 1973 charter, and telling them to read it and give you a report back on it. I'm like, I don't know what this is. You know what I'm saying? No. So I read it and then gave her a report back explaining, and she was very impressed with what I did. And what she also did under that internship, she introduced me and made phone calls herself, introducing me to every one of the city department heads. And that's how I was able to meet Benny Napoleon when he was over at Gang Squad, when I was at Northwestern High School, because there was an issue after a football game. You know, always fighting over it at Northwestern. But back then, so they had a fight of football after a football game, at a football game. And so I met with Benny Napoleon, caught the bus, and met him at the McGraw station that was over there. Used to be the old
McGraw.
6th precinct. And then so he drove me back home because I caught the bus over there, and we built a relationship all the way up until his passing. But it is so important for you to begin at an early age to find out what your interest is. Because look, I never would have thought, because in high school at that time, as I was volunteering involved, I wanted to be a physicist. I wanted to be a physicist. I actually joined the science fair, and I was very active in the science program at Northwestern, and eventually politics. And then also, you got to keep in mind, there's no way you could be from Detroit and not be influenced by music, the love of music, and the history of music.
Yes.
Because our motivation was, if they could do it, you can too.
Yes.
And that was right down the street from Northwestern High School, and a lot of those talented, legendary superstars would come to Northwestern because they used to attend Northwestern, and and speak to classes in the auditorium. So I'm just saying, Detroit in high school, and I tell people I'm married to Detroit because Detroit has taught me so much, not only myself, my family. You talk about my brother. We grew up in what we call the church corridor, over there on Stanford between Milford and Moore, over there on 30th between Cobb and Milford. So you had Hartford Memorial Church there,
Memorial Baptist Church,
St. Stephen,
right off of St.
Tabernacle, Tabernacle Baptist Church, John Wesley. So those were we grew up in that church community. Everyone over there went to church on Sunday mornings, and not only that, we had the opportunity to have my brother's godmother, who attended Clinton Street Greater Bethlehem Temple Church, the Apostolic Faith, and so we used to go there, and that's why I got baptized. I got baptized first at 9, then at 13. My mother said, "Boy, you better stop getting baptized." But the point is that whole experience of the high school experience and the whole experience through my teenage years is what really created the path and the passion for me to be doing the things I'm doing today.
I think so. I just wanted something you said that's key, and a lot of people don't understand that, Mr. Kendall, is that interning is important, right? I used to do paralegal work for lawyers, And a lot of people want to get paid for what they do now. And sometimes you got to volunteer your service to learn the craft, like I did, and I became good at it. And back then, what you said, you volunteered and you interned at ninth grade. She's like, hey, you need to go read this. So what if you would have said, oh, no, I ain't going to do that. You got to pay me. Would you be where you are now?
Right.
So I think we need to really focus in on encouraging people, no matter you're in college, whether you older, you want to get at your craft. And what I'm asking is, sometimes is it best that we ask, hey, can we just intern for you, learn the trade? Then that's all I want to do, and that'll kind of get you in the door to where you want to go.
In the recorded music industry, to get a foot or in a pathway of real opportunity, everybody had to start out as an intern. That's a rule there. In order to really get in there, it's very few folks, the finance and some of those other licensing parts of the industry, the law department, legal department, but every place, even in the legal department, they had interns in there. Let me just say this. Interning demonstrates to the person that you're committed to it.
Yeah.
That you really have it on the inside of something you want to do. Because if you're willing to do something for free, if you're willing to show that you have a passion and do it as if you were getting paid, that speaks volumes on who you are and who I need to be seen as a potential candidate for any paid opportunities that that might show itself. Let me just say this. In my office, because of what I learned in the music industry and because of my own experience, everyone who worked for me in my office started out as an intern. Started out as an intern. At least like a 6-month internship, unpaid, but to learn and see if they have a feel and a real passion for county government and just for government and you know, specifically. You know, I'm just saying, so because government can be tough. Government can be long and it can be frustrating because people who don't understand the processes come to you and demand results and results now and don't care about processes and what you have to do. They want it done and done now. And so you have to have thick skin in public service, and you have to have the ability to listen to people and then to be able to interpret what it is that they may need in order to accomplish the goals that they're seeking.
Now, so I want to ask another question because I believe association brings about similarity to a certain degree, and I think a lot of people don't understand, particularly because you know I associate with people like Justin who we spar, but I learn, and I feel what you did. You said, okay, hey, I'm an intern, but I'm finna learn.
Correct.
I'm finna hang around people that know, and what I said was this. I said this because I always say this. Mr. Kinlock, you could have been doing 40 different things. I'm confident.
I did do. So I'm joking.
I'm joking. That's true.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Productively,
They crack jokes. They crack jokes on
no,
that.
that's fine. He did do 4 different things. But what I mean, I know you was in a position, because sometimes he would brother talk, that you could have been persuaded to do something criminal. You know, you said, no, I'm straight. Let me stay focused. And it's because you had a circle. So my question is, now, is it important that we surround ourselves with people who's encouraging and motivate us to move forth, even when we think we fail, we still succeed.
Another
because
good
you
point.
learn from the thing.
Another good point.
Let me say this. You're absolutely, you are the company you keep. That's what we were taught. Cliches are cliches for a reason. They have been proven to be true. Sayings that have been said over and over have been proven to be true. And let me, you know, the path I took also had a lot of influence was from my mother and father. My mother, Dillon, South Carolina. My father from Hughie, South Carolina, the Low Country, and they demanded you to be responsible and accountable to them during my teenage years. And a lot of times, these young people nowadays aren't accountable to anyone.
Right.
And so there's no real guidance in a system in making decisions and choices. Children should not pick their friends. I remember we used to say, dang, we can't ever have no friends. You always pick up. You're not supposed, your parents are absolutely supposed to choose your friends because your parents see it from a different lens as far as where a person will potentially go that you may not be able to see.
Right.
And so my parents didn't let us hang around knuckleheads. One, and then once you get that in you, instilled in you, I hung around my church friends, the folks, and then the folks in the neighborhood. I hung around people who were of like mind,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, who wanted to do stuff, who were dreamers. And that's, I think, what we need to bring back here, dreamers, and encourage our young people to look at people who
Yes.
who are looking for more. My mother used to say, just because you're poor, you don't have to act like it. Just because you're poor, you don't have to stay poor and act poor and whatnot. What you do is my mother used to tell us not to hold our head down. That's why my big head. My mother always told me, hold your head up. Don't be holding your head down. I mean, like, dang, so all of those little, my brother may have talked about that as well. Be yourself. Don't try to be nobody else. We used to hear these things over and over from my mother. You be the leader. You don't let nobody influence. You don't be no follower. You be the leader. And so I think hearing that from my parents and whatnot, because of course we made some bad mistakes and stuff growing up and stuff, and got our butt whooped. And then even as an adult, in the music industry, I'm just going to say this: in the music industry, in New York, when you're in LA, it's a natural thing. After you get driven around car service. You have car service accounts. You get driven around to different parties and different things. So nobody in New York drove, and nobody in LA drive to go out. But when I came back here full time, I would get car services and whatnot and drive. But then you had a situation where friends like, dang, you flossing, you trying to be big dog. And, So then I caved to the pressure, and so I started driving. So I had my drunk driving experience, and so you learn from that. So we all have made mistakes, but what you don't do is let those actions of being irresponsible define who you are for the rest of your life.
Right.
And so I'm saying yes, God has been good, but He brought me a long way.
And I like that,
Yes.
that you because a lot of people, man, try to make people feel bad when they make mistakes. And sometimes people fall into drug addiction, alcoholism,
Absolutely.
because they can't rise up out that rut. I mean, so my thinking, because I've seen someone, I think you deal with a lot of mental health.
Yes.
So my question is, and I talk about this on my show. I got another show too. I come on Mondays, but I talk about in this show. When you see a black man on the corner that had a mental meltdown, how do that affect you as a person to know that this was a normal man who somehow just had a mental meltdown? So that's what I want to ask.
I go back to my mother, because and you talk to anybody who grew up on Stanford. So I remember as a kid, and when I say kid, I'm talking about 7, 8 years old. So the folks in the neighborhood, do you remember the folks who had big hands and stuff, who were came back from Vietnam and all those things there? And so my mother, during Christmas and Thanksgiving, it wasn't just our family. People in the neighborhood would just be coming in, the drunks and all the folks there who are alcoholics would come over and get food, get a plate and stuff. And we're like, we can't. My mother would say, don't you act like that. My mother used to say, let me say this to you. My mother used to say to us that, they used to be a doctor. They used to be this, that, and the other, that, and this. Don't ever think that you better than somebody else, because you could be in the same place. So my mother, during the holidays and all the stuff there, so we had people, my mother told us, that, to understand that people go through things, but things happen to folks. And as we began to get older, we saw other family members, people who we love and who we knew, who we grew up with, wind up having drug issues and whatnot. Part of the reason that we're in the state that we're in is because we don't help one another. We don't help one another. And the first line of defense is family. That was always the situation. Family help family, and so I see a lot of what's going on in our community, but like you said, with mental health and whatnot, instead of laughing at people, we absolutely need to get them help. And so I'm saying at an early age, my mother had taught us early on that no, you do not look down on anybody because it could be you,
Yes.
and that you could have hit a bad pocket in life, made a bad decision, and you too will want and need help as well. And that was that part when I had my alcohol arrest, drunk driving arrest, and you're like, what the heck is this? How do you move from this? So no, nobody should look down on people who have made mistakes in life, especially if they've turned a corner in their life. Yeah.
So
And I agree. I agree as well. I want to say something as far as you bringing up the block club as well, because I remember back in the day you used to have the block club. I remember they used to have the little lamps. They used to sit
Absolutely.
right there in the front line. If you don't remember that, with the address on them. What do you think about bringing back the block club?
Well, the biggest thing that we have to do in our city, and this is something that the county executive and the commission is moving in direction to help the city of Detroit in their effort, along with other communities, the 43 communities in Wayne County, is you all remember growing up,
Yeah.
we had a lot of home ownership.
Yeah.
All this renting stuff was it was, not that frequent. Most of the homes in our neighborhood was owned by folks. And so now we have all of this renting situation. And so I'm just saying, I mean, it's now because of the, cost of housing and interest rates, okay, it may make sense right now, but we have to get people back into home ownership.
Right.
And we have to create pathways for folks to own property and real estate. And so, no, block clubs. We have to rebuild the city, not just with brick and mortar, but we have to build it as far as unity and relationships. And those block clubs, that's how we knew everybody. We knew because they're the monthly block clubs. Right now,
Yeah.
people live in communities where they don't even know nobody. They don't even talk to people.
Don't even know their next neighbor.
Absolutely.
Next
And
door
so
neighbor.
block clubs was not just something to say. It was part of our culture. It was how we would get together and have block parties. It used to be once a year in the summertime, and that's where you would have the swimmobile come and the swimmobile, the bookmobile. When I was on the library commission, I made sure we kept that bookmobile and whatnot. And so the swimmobile was something that everybody, when growing up, you looked forward to that swimmobile coming through and whatnot. And so we
You know about the swimmable?
Oh, absolutely, the swimmobile. I remember the swimmobile. Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah,
had.
he said ninth grade.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
look, the brother,
The
look, y'all.
I look young,
swimmable,
bro.
they used to
Yeah.
come in the neighborhood and they opened up and had the
Absolutely.
games and
Wasn't that by
rides.
Fox 2? Fox 2?
Parks and Recreation used to run that, but there's some things that unified people in the past that we probably just the
Yes.
basic things, small things that we need to take a look at. Yep. So I agree. Block
So-
clubs are so important.
So do you
Yes.
think that we should maybe refocus that? Because I was watching the news and they're trying to create organizations that help try to tamper down crime in the community. And from what you're saying, a block club would be the way to do it. So should that be something that the city council or even the Wayne County Commissioner should pursue for as a grant, stating that we should have block clubs and have meetings with the people?
Well, they used to have these grants that they used to get out called home beautification grants, roof repair. They used to have these grants and stuff that used to be coordinated through block clubs and community associations. But a lot of those block grant dollars have now become loans, low interest or no interest or whatever loans. And so So you're right. We need to be creative. So let me just explain something about county government. Detroit gets its whole bucket of money, block grant monies and certain other federal and state dollars directly. So the county cannot can't use block grant money, HUD dollars in the city of Detroit. It's primarily we're there as a fiduciary and a resource for communities outside of Detroit and other cities, a few cities that may have those guidelines as well, restriction guidelines as well. So we have to, when we find opportunities, we have to find them from funds that might come in that's not as restricted as block grants. So we also can find and utilize general fund dollars. But that's, as you can imagine, you have 15 county commissioners, and if you're talking about using general fund dollars in Detroit, well, I want the same general fund dollars out there. So we have to find some middle ground, and there's one thing that I'm glad to say that we've found some middle ground of, one, putting a pocket of money for me, as you heard, small business, as well as, that tied to small business and the whole entrepreneurial piece. That's a whole nother conversation. We have to encourage our young people and teach them. It's not just about going to work for somebody. Find something you enjoy, master that, and and build that interest and build your own career. We talk often about going to school and coming to get a job. No, you need to go to school and come and try to find a way to work for yourself. And we have a lot of that. Create jobs and become the Mr. Charlie. And so I think that we see a lot of these young white kids and whatnot. They go to school, they come back, they start something in their garage, and next thing you know they selling the stock on Wall Street. But we got to begin to have more confidence in ourselves and fine tune our own direction of controlling our own life and economic independence.
So if people knew better, they'd do better.
Correct.
So
we're creating some entrepreneurial hubs at the county and partnership. I just met with the president of Wayne State, Dr. Espy. I'm gonna tell you, a remarkable woman. I just met her, and I'm telling you, she's really tapped into and tied into Detroit emotionally, and she and I were talking so much about that, and they're going to wrap their arms around Techtown, because Techtown, a lot of people know about it, but a lot of people don't even understand that they can have access to it. And so Wayne State is doing a rebranding and more clarification on that partnership, and also she wants us to let folks know what resources and how Wayne State exists there, right there in Detroit, as a community for opportunity. And I talked to her about the fact that I had not finished my degree and gotten a bachelor's degree or whatnot, but I've done all of this and whatnot. And she said, they're right now looking at a program to look at establishing folks, such as myself and others, who may not have finished their college education, but who has a whole life experience and wealth of knowledge where we can teach folks things, and so creating a pathway for folks to complete their courses. Yeah.
Well, you said something interesting. Some of our most profound leaders never graduated from college.
Absolutely.
Malcolm X, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Minister Farrakhan, Carter G. Woods. George Washington Carver. I can go on and on. Madam C.J. Walker. So the reason I say that, because in the South we was taught, if you see something that's successful, follow it.
Correct.
Ellen DeGeneres. People don't know this. She didn't graduate from college. Warren Buffett, I heard he didn't graduate. So the fact that you say it shouldn't matter. Look at his success.
Absolutely.
And follow his trail. That's how I've been taught. So my question is, I really want to bring this up.
Good point, Tula, by the way.
Thank you, good brother.
Yes.
The school system, that's how to talk.
Okay, let's go.
So
thank you.
What I'm saying is, I like what you said about the bookmobile. And you tell me if I'm wrong about the statistic. The statistics for the public schools in Detroit say that, and I'm focusing on black men, can't read at 50% of black men can't read at a proficient rate. And what I've said was that's a pathway to crime. You can't read, you're getting older, you got to pay bills. So should we kind of, and I'm from the old school, I believe you can do for self. Do for self. Stop watching videos and watch stuff on education. I'm from the South, that's what we did. We did for self. They ain't gonna do nothing. So do you think that we need to kind of be stingy on telling people after school, you're going over here we going to Pastor Kenlock Church, we got an after school program and we're gonna feed you, but you're finna go over here for an hour and get tutored. Push books through the school. Start that bookmobile. You can't read no matter what age you are. It's okay. We got a system set up for you. Should we go back to that?
Yes.
Back to basics. Back to basics. Reading, writing, and arithmetic. We talk about the schools. So You just had a senatorial candidate, U.S. senatorial candidate in the studio. We're talking about the presidential election. But the most impactful and most important election that people just don't understand, but our parents did, because they used to pack school board meetings. The most important election for the future is the Board of Education election. They said, see, we don't get it. You see all of those Republicans, those right-wing Republicans taking over it and running over those school boards because they understand the influence and the power of education. But I'm going to just tell you something. We look at all of these glossy other positions, but the Board of Education, we need to make sure that we put people on the school board who have ideas, like what you just said, who have ideas. The Library Commission, people don't understand it. The members of the Library Commission are appointed by the Board of Education, not the mayor or city council. They're appointed by the Board of Education because the board members were also Detroit Board of Education members were also the Library Commission members, as well as they are Detroit Public Schools is the entity that created Wayne State University.
Wow.
That's what people don't realize. In education, at its most basic place, K-12 is so important. And all of these conversations, you're talking about crime, you're talking about young people. As we have seen young people become, and like I'm on, like you said, county commission, you have young people at ages that we would have never imagined in the JDF for crimes that's heinous. These young people shooting and killing people. You know, and part of it is because, like you said, their minds, they have underdeveloped minds, and we have failed as a broad community. And when you have young people committing crimes, it's not just their parents, it's all of us. It's as a community, as a society. Because we supposed to have wraparound programs to address that, where you know, when we saw folks in neighborhoods when we were growing up that didn't have food and stuff, they used to come over to our house to eat. They used to come over and do our homework with us, you know what I'm saying, and whatnot, because they had folks that were drinking and stuff. I ain't gonna name names, but folks who spent the night and stayed at our home to get up and eat and stuff. And my mother did their hair. I'm saying, so we somehow that whole village thing has gone away, and that's why we see so many issues that's going on rampant in our community. But we got to go back to the basics. Bookmobiles, reading. I didn't tell you that my Aunt Nina Theodosia Johnson, I used to, you remember those penny books, your Lewis and Moore and all the stuff there? I used to order those books and stuff. I thought they came free, the magazines and stuff, you know, so your science.
For $1, you get the whole thing.
Guess what?
Right.
I used to order these books and stuff, and and you know, they'll send a bill. My Aunt Nina paid them. I didn't even know that until I thought they were free. But she said if I was reading and, you know, and trying to get an education, she didn't care and she paid for it. She liked that, you know. So I thought, you know, I would just, anything, I just fill a book out I want to get, and then she would just, I later found out that she was paying them. I thought those books, you got them for free. Yeah, but you're so correct. We have a lot of work to do as black people. We have a lot of work to do as a community, and it goes back to basics, reading and reaching out to not just our own family, but reaching out to our neighbors as well.
Well, I mean, because the recidivism rate in prison, it's estimated that I think that over 70% of the people who go to prison aren't high school graduates, and that's a low number. So they force them to go in there and get a GED, and they learn, and brothers rehabilitate themselves. So my thing is, why not stop it before it happens, like what you're saying? You know, set up these programs. We can do that. Now, I got to ask this question. Do you feel that people want to say, mind your business, lady? Other words, when we should intervene, we don't intervene. We should be, as you said, take a village around child. When you're talking about your mom, I feel like you're talking about my mom. Because my mom was the same way. And you laughed at somebody that was a little bit overweight. Wow, what you laughing at?
Yes.
People used to come to my house to eat. She didn't see nobody she didn't like
Right.
until the day she passed away. I know people that was on drugs. She used to invite them over.
Yes.
And you better not say nothing.
Right.
So we need that type of morality, and I feel like that's gone. So we need people like you, right, to get out and promote that concept. That's why we want you, because we need that. We need that type of image. So do you think that we should be structuring programs, more mentoring programs that embodies everybody in the community, as opposed to narrowing it down to young, old, women? We say, no, anybody can come, because we need a revamp in our community. What do you think about that?
I agree. I agree there, that what you're saying, that we need to focus on programs that are really mentoring folks. But like you said, you mentioned earlier that folks, boom, mind your own business. But it's not just,
Go ahead.
not just mind your own business. We also have to make sure that people are authentic and genuine in those things there, because we're also in a space right now where men and women are taking advantage of young people. And so that's the thing, that we're taking advantage of young people. We saw, you know, a lot of times they look at, I'm talking about the mentorship. You got to make sure that it's true and authentic.
Right.
Because right now we have a lot of folks who are not authentic and taking advantage of these young, vulnerable folks. So, and that's the thing there. I was watching something the other day where you had a conversation of a number of teachers, female teachers, who were violating young men. And so yeah, we got to have mentorship programs, but we got to make sure it's authentic, because we're seeing a lot of folks cloaking behind mentorship, things that are not healthy and beneficial to our community.
So we got about 3 or 4 more minutes. So let me say this. So we have you being the chief. Hey, these are mentors. Anybody got any problems, let me know.
Correct. Absolutely.
So I think if we had that type of
Yes.
guard dog, where we can say, hey, don't worry about that. Don't let them intimidate you. Ain't nothing going to happen to you.
Absolutely.
So I think if we do it that way. So I got to ask the elephant in the room.
Yes.
And people don't know about what happened in 2020. A lot of people just forgot about it. I did.
Yes.
I remember seeing you making that statement on how Donald Trump called them canvases, them 2 white canvases that was on the canvassing board for the city of Detroit. And they voted. Then they tried to take their vote back, and they recorded it. And he still say the Detroit votes are illegitimate. I don't know how. Can you tell the people what you went through? Because you explained to me, and people got to understand, this is Mississippi courage the brother displaying. So go ahead, good brother. Can you explain that, about him calling down here and what he did? Because it's not really talked about. All they talk about is Georgia. Let's talk about Detroit.
November 17th, 2020, the County Board of Canvassers, which is the body that certified the election. Basically, we're supposed to review what's in front of us, review what was on the tape, review basically, it's like an audit, and then just certify it. No decisions to make, just certify it. On that day, you had 2 Republicans who were appointed by the Republican Party and 2 Democrats appointed by the Democratic Party. We met to do our job, certify the election. That's like watching paint dry. That's what it was supposed to be. That's usually what it was, because it was just basically making sure folks did what they were supposed to do from an auditing standpoint. So I made a motion to certify the election as we normally would, and you have to have a person from the opposite party to support it. It was silence. I'm like, it was absolute silence. So they refused to certify, and they kept talking about how Detroit had a lot of irregularities. I'm like, what are you talking about? Your community, Grosse Pointe, had more irregularities than Detroit, and it was cured. There were nothing illegal or improperly done. We saw that through the canvass. And so what you had a situation where the 2 Republicans basically voted not to certify, and then I talked to them, convinced them, and plus the citizens called in, hundreds of folks called in about their rights being voting rights being disenfranchised and all that. And then I made a subsequent motion to certify the election. So we certified. They left the meeting, went to their car, and Donald Trump called them. And basically, because they were supposed to come in and sign some paperwork. We have to sign the certification paperwork. So they went to the car. Donald Trump, the President of the United States, called folks he never met before in the parking lot right there on Jefferson and St. Alban, and talked to them and tried to convince them. We heard it later. We recently got someone had taped the conversation. Told them not to go back in. He told them not to go back in and complete the certification process, thinking that it would have thrown all of Detroit, all of Wayne County's votes out. And so, like you said, people keep talking about what happened in Georgia, Arizona, all these other places, but it was here, right here, where we have on audio Donald Trump telling folks to go back in, that not to go back in, that he'll get them a lawyer, and they thought what they did would throw chaos into the process, but unfortunately it didn't matter, because that was the last day, and then we had voted and we waived reconsideration, and then I, as vice chair, was able to sign the certification and send it to the Secretary of State.
Let's go.
And so, and last thing, because we got like about a minute. Tell them about the threats you went through. How people was calling you threatening.
Oh, they were calling me. I got phone calls from folks saying that calling Detroit's, bogus elections. I remember I got a call. Somebody asked, "Where you live at? Where you live at?" And I said, "I live at 6353 Stanford Street. You can meet you can meet me there at 3 a.m. That's when the noise happened." And then that's when the noise happened. That's what I told them. I said, if you're not familiar with that area, it's the near area called the number streets. Yeah.
All right,
Let's go.
Mr. Kenlock, we got to wrap it up. Listen, good brother, we pray that you come back. Good luck.
Thank you. Reach out to me anytime.
Yes, sir. Good luck Tuesday on the election. You are definitely the incumbent. It was a joy talking to you.
Thank
You
you.
know, I could talk to you for 4 hours straight. But thank you so much for coming.
This was great.
And Justin, you got anything to say?
I definitely do, man. It's an honor for you to come
Thank
in,
you.
man.
I wanna come back.
And just represent.
Be
and
pleased to.
For the city, for the voters that don't know about the primary election that's coming up next Tuesday,
that's the Tuesday.
you have to vote. So we want people to come in and vote. I'm just glad you came in there, man.
Thank you.
Definitely a real one, man.
I got
appreciate
anything
it.
you would like to close out with?
No, thank you all for inviting me. You all have been a staple in the black community
Thank
and
you
just
so
in the
much.
community as a whole
Thank you so
for a long time. We need voices. This is the voice that we as policymakers need to hear from. And
Yes, sir.
and so thank you all for all the work that you all doing as well. Thank you.
And I want to say one last thing. Even though our show is called Politics or Tricks You Decide, today was politics, no tricks. Let's
Absolutely.
go, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. Welcome to another show of Politics or Politics You Decide with Tula Cabone and Buster Justin Barnett. We have another outstanding guest, Brother Bobby Christian. He's running for, and I'm going to read it, running for Commissioner, District 2 for the city of Detroit. But before I get started, y'all know what I'm going to say. We want to thank God. You hear the sound of my voice, mean God has blessed you. You see another day. Prayers go up, blessings come down. You know, always start a show like that. But anyway, we got an outstanding guest on the show. He brought his daughter. He said he liked his children. Already a good black father.
Already
so let's start
liking
the
that.
game out there.
All right.
So I'm going to go ahead and let Justin speak your piece. Then we go. I'm going to read the brother a little information about the brother. Then we fire.
Hey, it's an honor to be, once again, Politics and Poltricks, you decide. We're going to really get into this episode. We have Bobby Christian here. He's going to introduce himself. At first, I'm going to throw it back to Tula, and I want to give a shout out to Mr. Tyler over there.
Let's give a shout out to Mr. Tyler Perry. Let's give a shout out to brother R.J. Watkins. You know, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to correct myself. He is the only black radio that have radio, TV, and a movie production studio in the city of Detroit. Come vibe with him if you really want to have black talk. All right, y'all. So let me read a little bit about the brother Bobby Christian. And I'm just reading some of the stuff that he senior services. Operation Respect for Elders. Elders will expand senior service by merging them with youth programs. The initiative provides enhanced support, social activities, and resources to ensure seniors receive the respect and care they deserve. I got to read that over, that part. Just that.
Yeah, read that again.
Wow.
Read that
Social activities and resources to ensure seniors receive the respect and care they deserve. Let's honor their contributions by prioritizing their well-being. Parks and safety. Our parks have beauty and potential, but they need essential amenities. Many bathrooms lack doors, compromising privacy and safety. We also need better lighting and sheds for family gatherings. As your Wayne County Commissioner, I will address these issues and create safer, more friendly space. More family-friendly spaces. Okay, youth services. I am committed to expanding youth services to better support our young people. I envision implementing programs such as a after-school tutoring, mentoring initiative, support leagues, and arts and cultural activities, mental health initiatives. These programs will provide essential opportunity for personal growth, skill development, and community engagement. By investing in our youth, we ensure a brighter future for our community, for our entire community. With that said, let's turn it over to the dynamic brother Bobby Christian.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
Go ahead, family.
I am Bobby Christian.
Yes, sir.
All right, I got to introduce my special guest first. I want my daughter to come here and say hello.
Come on, let's give
Come
it
on.
a round.
Come on.
Come on. Get in the camera.
Go ahead and say it.
Hi,
What's your name?
No problem.
Brooklyn Christian.
Okay.
Tell her you happy to be here today.
Happy to be here today.
Oh, yay!
So we did a radio commercial at 107.5 in Brooklyn's on my campaign commercial. I do a Wednesday show on a Christian radio 1340.
Okay.
It's a crossover radio show. It's hip hop church music. Brooklyn has done the commercial for that, so she's coming up. She's doing her thing.
I like that.
Me, myself, just want to let everybody know I'm the voice for the voiceless. I've been around for almost 2 decades right now working in youth services. I'm the president of the Eastside Colts. That's a youth organization started by PAL 50 plus years ago. The organization is in its 50th year today, this year. And I want to put a spotlight on that. So many years, and you guys ever heard of the Eastside Raiders? You heard of the Westside Cubs? You heard of the Westside Rams? The Old Town Ducks? The Eastside Titans? These organizations are truly CVI programs. They're not being recognized though.
Explain what CVI is.
Community Violence Intervention Programs.
Okay.
All right, that's what the city is talking about a lot now. And they recognize 5 or 6 companies now, and those companies doing a great job. But I just want to put a spotlight where these people have been doing this work for 50 years without a dollar from anybody. off their own blood, sweat, and tears. And I'm here to talk about that, because if we take all of these youth organizations away throughout the city, then imagine what the crime would be if you take those programs away. Imagine. I have 300 children in my program alone. So 300 children mean 300 parents. I got 600 people, that under my voice. And I'm doing a great job with them, because I took the organization from 100 children to 300 children. So now I'm saying to myself, hey, we gotta do better. We gotta expand this. I need to touch more organizations. I need to touch more people. We gotta do better, because what happened in the neighborhood over there on 7 Mile in the hood, that wasn't okay. And I don't really want to play politics.
What you talking about, the block party shooting?
That block party shooting was not okay.
Yeah,
that was not okay.
Fact.
Right? So I'm not really here to play around. I'm not the politician that they used to. It's gonna tell you the pH balance of the water, but I can tell you I'm going to that table to bring resources back to me and my people. Simple as that.
So what made you run for office? Let me ask that.
So Jewel Ware was the county commissioner in my district. Known Jewel Ware for a while. She's been in my house with my mom's. My mom passed away now 2 years now, but she's a doctor in theology, Dr. Ruby Tarber. And just seeing that we don't get into those, people that come from the hood don't get into those spaces, and they don't become politicians. We are striving to be rappers and basketball players and any kind of sports players, but it's a million ways to skin a cat. And
I like that statement.
We're complaining about so much going on in our communities, but we're not engaged. So I'm be honest with you, I can't really tell you what just made me want to do it, but I just said, if not me to speak for the people, then who?
So do you believe in the concept that when you're looking for a leader, when you look in the mirror, you see the leader?
I see them all day. That's what I do every day. I lead.
So
I lead hundreds.
So do you motivate when you're talking to the young people? Do you explain to them when they're looking for a leader, the leaders really themselves?
100%, without a doubt. They are the true leaders. Yeah. Let me tell you how much of a leader I am. I hate to talk about myself, but
but that's why you're here.
But me and my organization won the national championship last year. Now, what you don't know, like Michigan, the Wolverines just won a national championship in the football. We did the same thing on the youth level. We went to Florida, where every organization from everywhere, New York to California, goes to Florida and compete. And I took my boys, my babies, down there, and we whooped tail. We came back home with a national champion.
Come on, let's give him a hand.
Let's go.
Let's give him a hand. So let me. So now I'm gonna ask a question that needs to be asked. Do you feel there's favoritism towards certain groups because of nepotism, or because they know that person? Because you're saying that the people you've been affiliated with been there for 50 years. So the question is, what's going on with the, you know what I'm saying? That's the question.
It's a tough question, right? So this is what I'll say. When it comes to those things, right? In some instances, yes, these people know the people that's in power know their family, know their friends. On the other side of that coin, some people just don't know how to go get that resource. Mm-hmm. And I want to be the person. If you have never seen a politician say, hey, here I go, here's the resource, come get it, right? You got to go searching, you got to go dig yourself. I want to be that person with that sign outside the Metro store and it's flashing, come in. Mm-hmm. I want to be that. I want to be that with the resource for our people. Hey, we got resources here for you. DTE, water bill, you get a pothole on a county road, whatever it may be, whatever I can do. I got to get that seat because I'm trying to unite us all, and you need a seat at that table to do it.
And I also want to ask real quick, for the people that don't know what a Wayne County Commissioner is, can you please explain that to them?
Okay, Wayne County Commissioner, in layman's terms, right, is city council for the county. They handle the checks and balances for the county. They deal with county roads. They deal with the juvenile systems, the county sheriffs. They do all they're the auditors of the county. So they handle the budgets. They deal with mental health services. They deal with youth services, parks and recs, everything in senior services, everything that I'm already doing. That's why I felt like this position was easy, because I wanted to run for city council.
Okay.
But as I'm looking at things, their hands are kind of tied in certain things, but the county commissioner can handle a little bit more things, and it's all the things that I actually do already. So I thought that was a pretty good fit.
So that's interesting. Why do you say that the city council hands are tied?
Well, they're redistricting things. They're changing the power that they used to have.
Okay.
So that's why. So it's hard for them to actually do some work. Now we got some good ones like Mary Waters. That's my right hand. All right, she's a great worker for the people.
Shouts out to Mary Waters.
I'm rolling with her.
Mary
I'm rolling her
Waters.
rain, sleet, or snow. I can't really speak on nobody else there, but Mary, I know her very well. But I do know that, and she's at large, which means she's not limited to a district. So she can do a lot more than others. And then even though she can do a lot more, it's still difficult for her.
Why? Because they tie our hands, or because of
Yeah,
rules in the process?
it's rules and it's always the process and procedures to these things. But then always, sometimes they tie our hands. So there's certain things that she just can't do.
So with the money that you get, do people voluntarily give you the money to help support the program? How do you go about, or do you pay out of pocket yourself?
This is what we do. So in my program alone, we have 300 children, which we have 300 parents. Now, me, myself, I own tax offices. I own percentage in a restaurant called Pizza Cat. I own percentages in Creole Soul. So I'm a businessman. So I take a significant portion, and I make sure I donate it every year to get us going. And then after we get going, my beautiful parents that I have, we do popcorn fundraisers, pizza fundraisers, and then we continue to fundraise for everything that we need. So, but I personally fund the Florida trip, and I start us off in the beginnings.
And shout out to Pizza Cat too. I'm familiar with that
shout
too.
out to the gumbo.
That's a good spot too.
But I mean, that's good, man. So my question is, so when people be on TV, and this is what bothers me.
Yeah.
When I see people on TV be talking about, look at them young black males, they going crazy. Why they acting like that? My thing is, so is the school system, to me, in certain areas of the city of Detroit, I'm gonna call it out, has failed them.
I know you're gonna call it.
Failed them.
100%.
Black men in the school system cannot read at a proficient rate, meaning they can't read their grade level, and that's over 50%. So you basically are making a criminal.
You are.
Right? So my thing is, man, why don't we implement skilled trade back in the school system? Skilled trade, to me, is something that everybody can do to make money.
100%.
What is your thinking about that?
So here's a reason why, right? When they had that emergency manager years ago, and they gave all the power to the state, it changed the city scoping and everything from jump. So now it's hard for them to do anything because now the state dictates every single thing. Now, if we get our people more engaged, I need 1,000 Brother Tulas. I need 1,000 Brother Justins. I need 1,000 Brother Rules. And now we can go there and make some noise when we go to Lansing. We can't do anything with just us. The power is in the numbers, people. It's in the numbers.
Strength in
what
numbers.
You're saying is 1,000% true. What we do in my program, we don't practice on Sundays and Mondays, and Sundays our day off, but Mondays we take some of those boys and girls that got some reading issues, and we have reading literacy with some parents that know things.
Stop. Give him a hand of applause.
Let's do that.
Come on, man.
Let's go
Come
ahead
on.
and do that.
Say that
right
again,
there.
bro.
Repeat.
Say that again right now,
So,
please.
so on Mondays, and that's for anybody. They don't have to be a part of the organization. It just happens. It just happens that way. But we do reading literacy. We do mental health trainings. We do all of these things with our baby. We do conflict resolution. Our babies don't even know how to have a conversation anymore.
That's a good point.
Instantly they
Conflict
upset and they mad
resolution.
for no reason. We're partnered up with Team Hype. They bring in other young adults like mine, and we just work with our youth, man. And it's amazing. People think we're just all football, but I've changed our organization. Like, I don't even care about the football for real. I want to care about the well-being because everybody's not going to make it, but everybody can make it being a businessman. Everybody can make it being a good citizen. So that's where I'm at with it. And I want to expand that as much as I can. I got the vision, but I'm not going to stop saying it. I need a seat at the table to help these communities of ours.
So what do you think about skilled trade? I think so. Let me lay this out. When they say, and it bothers me because I did a show on it. When they say, "Oh, the union is where black people should go. No, it's not. Because let me tell you why. When it comes to the painter an it comes to the drywall union, they lock black people out. You got to get an apprenticeship.
You got to get an apprenticeship.
Now, when you go to the UAW, oh, they love you. Oh, yeah, you come work for no pennies. Last one fired, last one hired, first one fired. We need to understand, and this is my opinion, good brother. You tell me, Mr. Brother, good brother. Should we be focused more on skill trade? Because in the 60s, if you didn't go to college, you went to skilled trade.
That's right.
We need people to know how to do drywall and painting. They building up Detroit. They make all them promises and don't keep them. And the unions block us out.
So
Go ahead, good friend.
So here's what I'm gonna say about it. You talking to a skilled trade guy. You talking to a plumber. You talking to an HVAC guy. You talking to a painter. At one point in time, I had my builder's license. I thought that's what I was going to be doing my whole life. It is extremely important. We used to have Votech on Jefferson, right? We don't have it anymore.
Votech right
it's
there.
over.
Wow.
Like, we should go half school, half skill trade. This is what I want to do. But we got to see how we can do it. We got to see what's the process, what's the procedures, because a lot of these things going to have to be privately done.
So they got a book by Brother Jawanzi Jakufu called The Conspiracy to Destroy Black Boys, right? So my question is, do you think that there's an intentional plan, and I'm going to say the quiet part out loud, to dummy down black men but elevate black women? And the reason I say that, what I notice more is that they got a lot of black woman magic, no black man magic, right? There's no brothers that's at the bottom. Brothers get out of prison, brothers poverty. You the invisible man. So is it a plan, good brother, I'm going to say it again, for these black men that are in school to intentionally uneducate them, even what you were saying about the skilled trades on Jefferson? Do you think that's designed like that?
It's a lot of designs, okay, my brother? That may not be the only one. What I will say about that is we got to come together with us. We know what's going on, right? We know that it's a problem. So we got to stand up. No matter how much they refuse us, resist us, we got to stand up and say, hey, I need you to do this. I need you to do that. Now, my part, that's why I got this youth organization. We can't get you in and say, we want to teach you this, that, and the third. And they're going to say, well, what's in it for me? They don't know that we're giving them life skills. But if I say, hey, come and play some football with me, then now once I got you in here, now I can teach you these skilled trades. I can teach you how to read. I can teach you how to write. I'm just doing my part. That's what I'm trying to run to get this on a bigger scale. We got to do these things privately because publicly it won't happen.
So I used to do paint myself. I was in the skilled trade. My brother got the #1 drywall company in Southeast Michigan.
Okay.
We came from poverty. We was homeless in Mississippi. Let me be clear. Ain't nothing like Mississippi poverty.
Ain't nothing like that.
The #1 poorest state in the United States.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
We made no excuse. We made results.
That's right.
The reason I'm saying that is I have no doubt in my mind that skilled trade is where it's at.
It is.
Because one time I made $4,000 in 2 weeks. Skilled trade. But they're not telling us that. So I'm where you at. But I think sometimes we got to look for brothers with these companies.
We do.
Tell them, hey, man.
And that's what the private side is. That ain't public, that's private. When if we can go to these guys that made it, and we can stop faking. That's what I'm saying. We got to stop playing. When we get on TV and get in here and say, yeah, we love everybody, we down for it. And then once the cameras go off, everybody go on their way. That's not what I'm about. I'm really not playing. I love us for real. I'm with us for real. And I'm ready to build with whoever wants to build with me. Simple as that. I can know you off the streets. Then you hear my brother Ruel say, Angel, you want to know how I met this man? I met this man walking, canvassing down the block in the streets. He came out his house. We had one conversation. He said, man, I'm rolling with you. That's God. That's a blessing.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
It's serious for me, man.
Facts.
He understood when I had a conversation with him what I want to do. You ain't got to fake me. Win or lose the election, I'm doing the work still.
So let me ask this question, and I've said this before. I said this to Justin. Do you feel that some people are afraid if they wake the sleeping giant, meaning poor black people, to vote, that some of
It's over. It's over.
You know what I'm about to say?
It's over. We can swing any election we want. We can do what we want, but we should. The people should be taken care of. If I get in office and I don't do what I'm supposed to do, get my behind up out of there and put somebody in there that's going to do exactly what they saying.
Why you think people, particularly people in the hood, as they call them marginalized, or disinterest in politics, bro.
Too many broken promises. Too many people coming around in election. Listen, we go to this. So here's the thing. I got to give a shout out to Mary Waters and Alberta Tinsley to lobby. These are two powerful women that has taken me under their wing. I'm going to keep it real. I'm a nobody in the politic world. In my world, I'm a king. But I'm entering into a new realm right now, and I'm learning it. So they've been giving me all the countless gaming possible. Now, they take me to senior buildings every day. Every single day. And every time I go to a senior building, the first thing they say to me is, why haven't I seen these other people? They only come around when it's election time. They only do this, they only do that. The only person that comes and see us is Mary Waters, nobody else. That got to stop. We got to take care of our seniors a lot better, because guess what? Everybody in this room going to be a senior real soon.
So, go ahead.
No, go ahead. We got a little time.
So let me give you I agree with you. My family's advocate for senior citizens. My mom was sexual assault in a nursing home, January of 2020. She was only there for rehab. My mom, when they found out, they got angry about it, but I recorded the conversation we had. So somebody in the nursing home gave her COVID-19. She died April 8, 2020. From that point on, I understood, just from what my mom was going through, that we need to be more of an advocate in law. And what I said, so I went to a meeting with some politicians in January over there off Greenfield. And Judge, the one black judge, the brother
Mathis,
went to his building. And I heard all these senior citizens complain about security. And I stood up and said, why are senior citizens only important when they vote?
Right.
I said, why do they have to beg you to fix their fence?
That's right.
Why are you neglecting? And then I learned that the lobbyist is lobbying Lansing to not enforce laws that protect senior citizens.
Yeah.
I'm all in with what you're saying, family.
We got to do it, though. But we got to do it with us, because you guys, I'm going to senior buildings with my hands are tied, because they're telling me they can't even get on the elevator. They got a walker. How they going to get to the third floor and they can't even get on the elevator, can barely walk? This isn't okay in no circumstances.
And I don't see how politicians ignore that.
That's what I'm saying, man. I heard there was a lot of people up here. They came up here to this beautiful radio station, this historical place, and talking that talk. But you got the seat. You got the seat, and what you doing with it? Huh? You got the seat. You've been there for 3-4 years. What you doing? We can talk about these lavish parties. We can talk about, oh yeah, we got $100 million for housing. Who got the housing? Was it us or was it them? I want to know.
Do you feel that more of it in the city of Detroit is more focused on the middle class as opposed to the poor and senior citizens?
It's focused on them 75,000 and up. You see how downtown is looking.
It's
looking amazing, just right.
Looking downtown
It's
versus
looking
the
amazing.
east side.
I have no problem with it. Downtown should be amazing. Let's not forget about 7 Mile and Evergreen. Let's not forget about 7 Mile and Gratiot.
Fact.
Let's not forget about Graver and Greenfield. Right. Let's not forget about Warren and Connor. Okay? Serious. Now again, these politicians can't do it all, but we got to do something. It's got to be something for the people to say, well, they did that for us. They did that. All we need is a little. We don't need a lot. Just need a little bit. Just a little. Just a little letter say thank you. Just a little letter say, okay, here go your DT bill paid. Something. So how you acting like this money is allocated for us, and then when we come get it, we the problem.
So this is what I said, and I'm a firm believer in this, that, and I'm gonna just say, quiet part out loud. You don't see immigrants laying on the ground and starving. Let me put it out there. Let me put this out here. You don't see when a person doesn't immigrate. Now I'm gonna tell you, my mom was disabled, and they gave her $100 a month for food stamps, right? And my mom needed them, legitimately needed them. People told me that working at Family Dollar, they have seen immigrants come up there. Thank you, family. They seen immigrants come up there with $4,000 on food stamps. So I mean, let's have that quiet conversation out loud.
I come from the same thing. My mother got $112 food stamps. We was on Section 8. We got the lowest amount of Section 8 that they could possibly give because they didn't want to give it, and we needed it. So I understand those things. See, we done been through the same things, brother, too. So I'm here, and I know that's why I say I'm the voice for the voiceless, because we are the ones that don't. We're fighting our own battles by ourselves, but we get together, you, me, some more, and doubling, and compounding. We could be strong. We got to stop playing, though.
Do you think some of the Democrats, not all, because some of the Democrats do voice their opinion, do you feel that some of the Democrats that's in the Democratic Party who have an immigrant background only focus on immigrants and not African Americans?
100%. 100% without a doubt. I won't speak on anybody's name, but 100%. We got to, even my beloved Joe Biden, I love Joe Biden, right? Like, I told everybody I'm riding with Biden, okay? And they gave immigrants, talking about giving immigrants $400,000 or something like that. Where's our reparations? Where's our money?
Snap, you said the right word right there.
Where's our
For
reparations?
Tula right there. You said the right word right there.
That's
So.
one trigger.
Where our reps at? We need them.
So
We need them too.
okay, so you the trigger me, right? So let me give just a small history where you can comment on it. April 16, 1862, Abraham Lincoln gave reparations to slave owners. He told the slave owners, you free the slaves, I give you $300 per slave. There was $9,000 per slave, as long as you fed it to the Union. 1988, Ronald Reagan signed a bill for Japanese Americans to get reparations. $20,000 for every person whose family was in internment camps in 1942. They gave reparations to Native Americans. They pushed a reparation to be given to Jewish Americans. Why you ain't gave black people reparations?
And man, we be talking about that for the next 4-5 hours.
No, I'm just saying.
That's what I'm saying. I'm with you. Like, we need to figure this out, but we need more of us in there that actually that's ready to get in the hot seat.
Well, I'm gonna tell you how we figured out.
Talk to me.
Well, yeah, let me go ahead and go on the hot seat.
Yeah.
I like to talk and tell.
Talk to me.
Get rid of those who don't support reparations.
100%.
Martin Luther King said in the video that he took a video. A lot of people don't know this, and you get a chance, check it out. He was interviewed by NBC 1967. Okay. Martin Luther King said that when it came for some progressive whites to put the money up to support our program, they pulled the rug from on our feet, and that they was playing with us. And because when you tell me that and this doesn't apply to everybody, because you got black people that's afraid of reparations too. Yeah. So let me make it a blanket statement. Yeah. If you feel that black people don't deserve reparations, then where's your humanity?
You have none.
Where's your humanity?
Because everybody got it. I just want to speak on this. All of our young brothers were getting killed and shot and things like that, and nobody said a thing. But the moment that Chinese boy got abused, they had an immediate Chinese act and all kind of things going on. These things are so befuddling to me. I have no idea how to even explain them. All I know is we have a lot of people that's like-minded. We got to figure out how to get back to each other so we can control this narrative, because it's not okay. And I'm all open ears, and I want to give a shout out to Keith Williams. He's a former commissioner, and he's the president of the Black Caucus. He talks about reparations still to this day.
Awesome.
Trust me, I beat it to death. Just to tell you, I beat the drum because I can't understand the atrocities. No, listen, there's nobody or no other culture that was ever enslaved in America's soil.
That's right.
There's no other culture who was lynched, robbed, and their ancestors raped on America's soil, like African Americans was. There was no other culture. They were socially engineered for us to be failures, because every time our leader rose, they assassinated.
That's right.
So you want us to be where we are today.
That's right. They want us to be there.
So we have to, and I'm a firm believer, man. I mean, I'll be honest with your family. I mean, white people, they down for the cause.
Me too.
More than some of our own people.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? But as you say,
true.
we got to connect with them.
We got to.
And bring humanity out. And we can't be afraid to do that.
No, we got to. We got to do it for us. And I'm willing to get in that seat and stand on it. I want my people to get what's rightfully theirs. If they blow it, they blow it. But at least they was giving it a chance.
What do you feel that the seat isn't doing right now? Let me ask that.
So here's the thing. If you constantly give people something, boy or child, young man, young woman, you're constantly giving them things without them working for it, what you say about them.
Right, spoiling them.
Yeah, they don't appreciate appreciated. When we elect people into these seats, they should be appreciative of that. That's not a given, that's an honor. So the beloved Jill Ware passed away after she won her election in 2020. She won in November and died in December. And they gave the seat to my opponent. He didn't earn it, didn't even live in the district. So if you don't live where you're representing, you don't really care that much.
And for people that don't know exactly what district you're covering as far as District 2, please explain that to us.
Well, District 2 is Wayne County District 2 is a little bit of city District 4 and 5. So we got Lower East Side, Lower West Side, and all of downtown. So from Dickerson to downtown, from the Water Jefferson to 94, and on the west side, from 96 to 75, from Claremont to downtown. So it's the meat and potatoes of the county.
Okay, people, so you hear that area, he just covered over. So that's where he's located.
So let me say this. So down south, we had a belief system. I didn't care if you lived on 7 Mile of Grass and I lived on St. Clair Shores, you was black, we coming. So so the reason I say that, because you made a statement, and I'm just pushing back just a little bit.
Yeah, come on, talk to me.
The fact that the brother didn't live in the district, did that matter? And the reason I say that, because if you do something, harm a white person in Missouri, you can be in the woods, Alabama. They coming to get you.
No, that did.
I'm a person that believe more in, like, okay, what are you doing, and so that's why I asked that. Why do you say that the fact that he didn't live in the district?
The reason why I say that, because you care more about where you're from. You do things more when you come from an area. Jill Ware was a beloved commissioner because she was from that area, so you saw her uplifted. Not saying that you can't, but we tend to uplift the areas that we come from. Back in the day when you was a representative and you got elected, you was from that area.
Okay.
Makes no sense for you to represent an area where you're not from. You have no interest.
Okay. So can I
unless you're trying to pillage something from it.
Can I push back just?
Yeah.
We are African Americans. I can't tell you what part of Africa my ancestors come, but I can speak Swahili and write it, Habargani and Zuri. I can do that. To me, when they get us to believe, and the structure of racism get me to believe, because I'm not from that area, I shouldn't worry about that. Racism won.
Yeah, but that's,
you know what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
No, you're right. No, you're 100% right on that note. I'm speaking on just what you're doing in the area that you're representing.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, but I understand what you're saying. If you're from that area, and
it don't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Absolutely.
That doesn't matter. But if I'm experiencing you for 4 years, I never met you, then that's a problem for me.
So, I agree with that. But the issue with our people, man, and I talk to brothers all the time. One of the brother told me at the gym, I'm voting for Trump. I said, why? Oh, he did a lot for black. I said, what did he do for black people? He did more for black people than Abraham Lincoln. I said, no, he didn't.
What was
Lyndon
that?
Baines Johnson did. I said, how you think you got a voting right to that civil? I started breaking him down. And
Lyndon B.
You know what he said? What? Man, I just like. So the reason I'm saying is,
Yeah.
poor black people are illiterate to politics.
No, 100%.
Justin, this is my man. Tell him what you told them brothers, Justin. Tell them what you told them.
Hey, if you knew better, you have to do better. I spoke on a couple of points, but basically you have to speak the language of wherever you at, So.
What did you tell them about that bridge car?
That was an example. That was one of the examples that I brought out. If you're receiving Medicaid, bridge card, that's part of, that's who you want to vote for. That's going to cover those benefits. Then I use that as an example.
Fact.
But it's more examples. I use that as an example to catch whoever I'm talking to attention.
Brothers,
So that's where we go from there.
So-
But it's other issues.
So to push back on you a little bit, Brother Two.
please do.
We talk about these politicians, but what you got to be able to see what they've done.
As far as what?
Anything.
Oh,
For the community.
I agree with you, family.
So I'm just pushing a little bit. I ain't pushing too
Please,
hard.
please. Drag it, man.
I ain't gonna push too hard.
Tula Cabone in the cage.
I don't know. You're a big fella. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna rumble.
Right, I love you, man. I love talking about
I'm just
people.
pushing back a little
Yes, sir. I
bit,
love it,
right?
family. Yes,
But
sir.
because we talking about we're going. Of course, we have to go against each other because You know, we're in the same cage. We two lions in the same cage. So we have no choice. If any man is doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing, you won't challenge that lion.
Right.
Because you know that lion is doing everything they need to be, everything that they need to do. So I'm just saying, you're saying about our people are illiterate. They are truly illiterate. Why?
Because they're designed that way.
Exactly. So,
Designed that way.
knowing come from where we come from, the mud,
That's absolutely.
our people that's been in these seats, why haven't we educated some of our people? Let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell y'all some of the most embarrassing stuff that I've ever experienced. And I'm 41 right now. I was today years old when I found out how important a primary election actually was.
Yeah.
I used to only vote in November. You hear me? I'm talking about, I sit up here and go in November and say, why is it only vote for not more than one and it's only one person? Never knew. Nobody ever gave me the answers. I realize now that the fight is in August.
Absolutely.
The primary. Because we're only taught and seeing the presidential election. But the most important election is our local elections. To be frankly honest with you, I don't care who becomes president, but I do care about who my city council person is, who my Congress man or woman is, who my state rep is, who my city council, mayor, et cetera, and our county commissioners. Those are the most things important, and we're not taught these things. Man, I want to get this seat, go in these schools, and force my way into these senior assemblies. They're about to be 18 years old, and they need to know why we vote. They need to see. When we used to go in these classrooms, and they used to give us show us, put the tape in, and show us history. We need to go back and show these boys and girls why we got this right to vote. Why our people went through what they went through, and maybe some of our babies will get more engaged.
Well, this is what I tell them. You know, it's a simple process. If you don't vote for who make the rules, somebody gonna make the rules for you.
100%.
So this how the game go, right? Donald Trump, Project 2025. That's real. I did a show on Project 2025 over there in February. That's how long I've been on it, right? One of my callers, Tia, shouts out to Tia, put me up on it. So when you start talking to black people like, oh, you ain't got to vote, that's cool. They cutting your mama bridge card off. While you going to Big Mama house and go to get them, ain't no more Big Mamas.
That's right. That's right.
So
That's right.
you have to realize from a hood perspective, stop thinking you voting for yourself.
100%.
You're voting for your people and those, because guess what? If Donald Trump getting up, they ripping the whole government apart.
Oh man.
So now you upset because your mom ain't get food stamp. You can't go in the parlay no more. Now what you gonna do now?
See, those people think that that pandemic money is coming back. That's why they're so excited about you.
That's another reason. You're not going to get that stimulus check again.
Oh, Capito.
You ain't going to get the stimmy again.
It's not coming again.
Over.
That was a one in a lifetime opportunity for us all. That's over.
Thank you for
That's
saying
it.
that.
But here's the thing, guys. The babies that came up in that, that's all they know. They think that that's normal. They 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. They think that this happens all the time. They haven't had any experiences. They haven't lived yet. So we have to be mindful of that. That's why we got to go into these schools and let them know, hey, this is not that. This is this. And if we constantly doing what we do in our world is called drills. If we constantly drill it in their head, eventually they gonna catch it. But it has to be constant.
And then not only that, if you in high school or middle school, mama probably getting food stamps you in the hood.
For sure.
So when mama lose them food stamps, she can't pay their DTE bill. She can't take you to health care. And you think they're not trying to do that? They trying to do that, family.
They're trying to do that.
So when you explain it from that perspective, I tell people all the time, well, this is what you do. It's 5 people. One person gonna say, make your vote. Don't vote. Let you, Justin, and brother Rahul, if I said it Rule, I'm sorry. Let him make them 2 vote and you don't vote. So now they didn't create the rules for the house, you mad.
That's right.
Now follow the rules.
Follow the rules.
You had a chance to vote and you didn't.
That's right.
We got to understand as a people, because I come from the dirty, dirty South.
You did.
Right? I got hit in the face with an axe handle by a white boy at 17 years old, 16, and he called me the N-word. I met racism in the raw. We vote.
That's right.
We understand that the people you put in power reflect what you want done for them. Fannie Lou Hamer and them started a whole Democratic Party in the South. Facts. So
That's right.
we got to understand up here.
That's right.
Up here, you know what I call the North? The land of the milk and honey.
Yeah.
You could wake up broke, and 2 weeks later, you got all that money in your pocket.
Yeah.
You go down Mississippi, wake up broke. 2 months later, you still broke.
You gonna wake up broke.
Right. So we got opportunities up here, family.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Brothers like you.
And we can't forget about our
good
brothers
point.
down south.
We can't.
We can't. We have to figure out how to merge that gap as well. See, I want to get this seat, man. I want to go to Africa.
Fact.
I want to go out there and meet the princes there and the kings there and try to bridge these gaps with us. First of all, we need to know where we come from.
Absolutely.
We can respect each other a lot more. Man, there's so many variables to this thing, man. We'll be talking all day.
But that's cool. Let's talk.
I'm ready.
do it.
I'm here.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm here.
So let me give you. You said something about local elections.
Yeah.
In Florida, you got Mom for Liberties. The racists down south, they got it. They said, "Oh, we're gonna take over the school board." Mom for Liberties, we finna take over the school board. And when we take over the school board, we're gonna create a false theory called critical race theory. And we're gonna start borrowing Black history books. So when they took over the school board, there was nothing nobody can do.
And they're doing it here, though.
You see what I'm saying?
They doing
Well,
it
nothing
now.
they can do because they didn't vote. But I call critical race theory. I gave it my own corn phrase: critical race truth. That's what you're afraid of. But I'm saying, based on what you're saying, good brother. So do you feel that we should go to these school board meetings? You have a little daughter, and advocate for this to vote more for school board members. Let me ask that.
Yeah, of course. We need to do
Good
the same thing with
question,
we need to do the same thing that the Moms of Liberty is doing. Let's get together but again, it all goes back to who's controlling it. Is it the city or is it the state? And then we got to get petitions. We got to get things on the ballot, but we can do it, and I'm all for it. All right, because I'm gonna tell you experience I had. One of my boys was going I had 2 boys, Jeremy Christian, Bobby Christian. Jeremy just graduated from Cass Tech. He going and got a full ride to college, go play football.
Shouts to Cass Tech.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Yeah,
Shout out.
my
Shout
baby
out.
Jeremy.
What's his name?
Jeremy, he will be here too.
Let's shout out to Jeremy.
But
Come
he was,
on.
didn't
but
get
he was
the
training.
Let's go.
He was training today, so I told him don't miss training. Go handle your business. They were going to school, and in Black History, they had fictional characters. So I asked the teacher. I said, I got a whole bunch of books on real Black people, Martin Luther King, and Malcolm X, Rosa Parks. She like, no. This is the state's curriculum.
Wait a second. Did you say they have fictional characters, not real Black
No,
people?
this was
at
just
all?
little Timmy went to the store. There was a Black boy, color book. Like little Timmy went to the store with little Bobby, but there was nothing engaging for
No
us.
substance.
No substance. Not, just us, our history. It was being erased, and I don't know what we need to do about it, but we need to do something, and we need to meet, and we need to organize.
So-
But when we
course.
organize, that becomes a problem.
So so what? So what? You know what I'm saying? My thing is this is my solution. We give $100 a piece. We order books like Nine Akbar, Jawanji Kung Fu. We have them watch them videos because
That's right.
they watch them videos about Black manhood.
That's
Miss
right.
Farrah, and we good. So you don't want to down south. We didn't do all that. We know you. They tell you.
Right.
We don't like you in. Oh, okay, so we need to figure it out.
Yeah.
Up here, they moving silent. And
Yeah,
somehow, listen, but up here, our own people
Yeah.
sticking to it.
Yeah. Without a doubt.
We didn't have that down there.
Without a
Because if
doubt.
you did that, we ostracize you.
That's right.
Because the struggle is too real.
It's
and
still a
racism
real
is very
struggle.
painful.
Up here is a fake struggle.
Man.
People don't even want to let you know that they're struggling. We struggling here.
Oh, yeah.
We
that's
need the
real.
help, but people want to act like they're living this lavish life.
Like ghetto bougie.
Yeah, we here, man. We all in the hood every day. We
You say Tula ghetto bougie.
Yeah, we not any different.
Bougetto.
Bougetto, that's it. We no different than the next. And I try my best to just show my insecurities, show
That's
my
right.
flaws,
That's what's
so
up,
people
man.
can say like, Coach Bobby, I got a big house, nice car, but man, I hurt just like you. I go through issues just like you.
Facts,
I got the same problems just like you.
Facts, facts.
I'm here helping you. I'm in the hood every day. I ain't no different than you.
Fact.
You know,
I like that.
So
Like that.
I'm just trying to do my part, but if I get at that table, we can have some real conversations.
I think so. Malcolm X got a saying. Let me say this: the brothers I run with, right? Because I run with brothers that, as you can tell, they be on their game.
That's right.
So we believe that
I need to be with y'all boys.
you can definitely tap in.
For real.
You can tap in. So we believe that when you tell the truth, people gonna come.
That's it.
That's right.
That's it.
You ain't got to, you can go
That's
out
it.
there right now on
That's
7
it.
Mile of Grass and pick up hey man, you gonna get somebody attention to say, wow.
That's it.
So we finna set up building trades. We finna go to this house right here on Somerset. That's a beat up house. I got some people coming. We gonna train y'all and we gonna pay y'all.
That's right.
We gonna come together, put everybody that got bread, everybody put $300 in. We got 5 brothers. Hey man, we gonna pay each one of y'all $100. Give us 5 hours and see what you do. You
And
just
that's
created
it.
something.
We just created a program.
That's how we do in the South. You know what I'm saying? I tell our people up here, stop begging. Y'all got more opportunity up here than we do.
We waste more money on frivolous things.
Man.
So I 100% feel you. When we say, I need this for that and that and third, but what about the nails you got done? What about those expensive $1,000 shoes you went and got your son that he or she don't need? What about that?
Talk to me.
You can go take in the Foot Locker, just get some $50 shoes, spend $100.
Talk to me.
You know, so I'm with you. I'm with you all the way.
Do you feel now? And I'm saying this because we talked about how blacks up here don't value it, and some of them. Let me say that some of our people up here don't value voting unless they so-called middle class because they understand the laws control the people. That's how they eat. Poor people don't understand that concept yet.
Not
Unless
yet.
Trump win, they gonna learn. So, do you feel that that black people that's poor up here outspend their means? And the reason I say that, when they was getting them stimmy checks, man, Walmart was eating. I see all these people coming out with their big old TVs.
You asking me a question, but you didn't already answered it. Yes. Do you know that the mall was empty? When them checks came in, it was nothing on the shelves. People were spending money as if they always have it. Like these things, people got to understand, you got to hold on, baby,
Right.
for a rainy day. That's what I was taught.
Right.
And right now, we having some rainy days.
Yeah. So do you think that that we should teach black people how to have a class on how to save money?
We got to have financial literacy.
In the poor community, that is.
We need financial literacy in every community, especially ours, okay? Because we're hundreds of years behind.
Facts.
Hundreds, okay? My mother passed away. Here,
God bless her soul.
my beautiful mother. I'm great.
Mine too, mine
I'm
too.
okay with it. My baby, I did everything I had to do for my baby while she was here. I'm good. We good. I love everything. She's still with me. I'm not.
I like that.
I'm doing this for her because I told her before I said, "Mom, I'm gonna run."
Me too, man. I got
You know, I told her I'm gonna run. She said, "You sure?" I said, "Mom, I'm gonna do it. If not me, who? Then who?"
Right.
So she was paying an insurance man. And I was young. I mean, this insurance man been around for 30 years. And we were talking one day, and my mother and the insurance man came over to the new house, and he was like, "Oh, man, you guys got a nice house." And I was like, "Well, can you tell me what my mother's been paying you?" She's paying like $150 a month or whatever it is. But she's paying it over 30 years. I said, "So what is the policy? Y'all ready for this?" $12,000. I said, "So, sir, do you have a soul in my dining room?" He says, "What do you mean?" I said, "My little old mother here been paying you $150 since we've been over there in the hood. And you telling me you didn't even have a chance to increase her policy? She's paid you more than her policy. Please leave. You got to go." And that's not a fault to my mom. That's just a fault to us not knowing. We don't know about whole life insurance. How many of us got it?
That's right.
We don't know about our own banking. We don't know about these things. We're hundreds of years behind. But it's okay. We have to understand, because now I'm considered an OG. We got to understand we got to live for these babies. We can't live for us anymore. Our days are over.
So I think okay.
like that.
Let me give you a little pushback. I think that strong black men had to live for all black men, right? And I say that because the Nation of Islam had a process in the 60s called fishing.
Okay.
They didn't care what age you was. And they had a hell of a method. The United States government went to Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He said, "Hey, man, listen, we want to pay you because your method worked." He said, "I want your money." So the reason I say that, good brother, when it comes to rehabilitating black men, has nothing to do with age.
No,
And-
100%.
So that's
Without a doubt.
So I'm the type
Yes, sir.
where if I see a brother, he could be 65. Let me elevate you, black man.
That's right.
Because each one teach one.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how
right.
I vibe. So,
No, I'm with that.
Yeah.
I just feel like we're educated now. We getting there now, but we still just so far behind.
I mean,
But
yeah.
no matter what age that man, woman, or child is, let's make sure we teach them whatever we know.
But also, man, let me say this too. I like brothers like you because I think that some of us has to be age stingy, meaning that we have to legitimately focus on young people. Whereas brothers like me, I'm official everybody. Brothers like you got 300 young brothers. Now you done built black men.
That's my plan.
You see what I'm saying?
That's
So
my
now
plan.
you ain't got to worry about John calling him.
That's
talking about,
right.
"Man,
That's right.
We got to go shoot the house up. Dog gonna say, man, I ain't going. Coach,
That's right.
Coach
That's
gonna
right.
knock my
That's
head
right.
off.
Coach gonna
I'm
go
standing
crazy.
on that.
But
We need you.
yes, sir. We need you as well.
I appreciate that.
We need you.
Tula Gabon do his best. But I'm saying to you, in hindsight,
Yes, sir.
I like how you rock on that.
Thank
Because
you,
we
sir.
need you to focus on these young brothers, man. Some of these brothers, man, all they want to do is smoke weed, fam.
Yeah, and I don't want to look down on the marijuana, but we want to at least we want you guys to do this responsibly.
Absolutely.
Wait till you get 18, 21 before you can start doing these things. You know, it's important because that's going to cloud your mind and your judgment, and one mistake can cost you your life.
So let me rephrase
Say
what
that
I'm saying,
again.
because I
That's
like
real.
how you pointed that out. I'm not criticizing nobody for what they do. But when you do too much of what you're doing, and
Yeah.
it clouds your responsibility.
That's right, that's
you
right.
need to stop doing that.
That's right, 100%.
Because
100%.
I went through Dearborn about a month ago. You know how many dispensaries I've seen in Dearborn?
Not many.
None.
Yeah.
None.
They
On
are-
Michigan Avenue,
they-
I did not see one dispensary.
They are the
Who owns the
suppliers.
dispensaries in the city of Detroit? Mostly Middle Eastern. Let's have a conversation.
90%.
Right. So why you ain't got dispensaries out there on Michigan Avenue? Because you don't want that poison with your people.
That's right. That's right.
Stop playing with us.
But see, my take on that is Dearborn is owned by Dearborn, right? And most of Detroit is owned by Dearborn. We gotta
Oh,
start.
I like that. Say that again.
Dearborn is owned by Dearborn,
I want y'all to listen. Say it slowly,
but
please.
most of Detroit is owned by Dearborn.
Wow.
You
So
know?
what you saying? They taking the money back to Dearborn in front of their community?
Without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt. And I'm not mad at them for doing that. We got to figure out how we can do it because the Chaldean community done taught me a lot.
Okay, I got you.
You know,
I vibe with him too.
I didn't learn. Yeah, of course, everything is always to a certain extent.
Right.
With anybody.
Facts.
Right. But these people have shown me, you know, the value of a penny. See, they make millions off of pennies. Well, see, we just want to make $1 million off of one transaction.
Right.
But see, they'll sit there and me and you will have a problem or issue, an argument, and we don't want to be friends or business partners anymore. They'll have an argument and still do business. They understand the fact of the chain of commands, father, mother, son, daughter. They understand these things.
So-
They're still rooted like the South people.
Okay.
They still rooted.
So do you feel, because slavery was up north too, let me be
Oh, I know. Wayne County had slaves.
Woodward, Belle Isle, Joseph's Combo, slave owners.
Yeah.
So I can go on. So let me put that out there. So do you feel up north that black people have been socially engineered to hate each other?
Without a doubt.
But with the conditions make us that way, because when we try to unite, there's a way to divide.
This is why I think that, right? This is my personal experience. I'll go up into a Walmart, see a person get in front of me, whatever that color or race is.
Thanks.
They say hello. Hey, how you doing? The greeter say, hey, how you doing? I walk in, I'm waiting for the hello, and I get a look off. You know, and that person is my people. So what you're saying, brother, oh yeah, it is.
So let me ask you this, because we got about 2 minutes left. Do you feel that people are afraid of your genuine leadership in the black community?
Some are.
I'm talking about, and let me be clear, black middle class.
Yeah. You want to know why? You want to know why some people going to be scared of me? Because I'm going to open that door up and let them all in.
I like that.
But the brothers I'm going to let in, they brothers with sense. They're not,
Exactly.
we can all go somewhere and they look at us like, man, who are these guys? But they don't know we well-educated brothers.
That's what's up, family.
I got on just regular clothes. My brother got on the football uniform, but they don't know what we do. But I got 55 volunteers in my program, and I got 40 of them are men. And these men stand strong, and they're
what's up.
honorable men.
That's
They
what's
with
up.
integrity. So that's where I come with. That's where I come from.
And I like that, man, because a lot of people don't. And I tell brothers, when not like me and Justin rock together, I ain't got to worry about hanging out with Justin. And he tell me, hold on right here.
Right.
He going to Rob Myers and jump in the car like my
for
man
sure.
did on 3 strikes.
Yeah.
What you doing? Man, listen,
Yeah.
I say that, man, because we got to surround ourselves with brothers.
We have to.
And sometimes we got to vet them brothers.
We have to.
Listen, you tell them. I tell brother, hey, man, don't play me like that.
That's right.
You got one more time. Ain't no
That's
twice.
right. That's right.
You ain't burning me twice.
That's right. Relationships are everything. Relationships are everything.
Well, I enjoy chopping it with you.
Oh, man, this won't be the last. I'm going to tell you that.
Reach out.
We
Oh,
reaching.
y'all killed it, man.
This my man.
We reaching, Joe.
Killed it, man.
Listen, man, anytime you want me and Justin to come in and really chop it up, man, we can do that.
Okay.
My brother owns a drywall company. I'm sure he'll be willing to come down and talk to the young man.
Anytime.
My sister's an esthetician.
Please.
So she got her own show on Mondays. It's called Simply Lady T. Her show hot too.
Okay.
Then I do another show on Mondays too at 5 o'clock called Real Talk with Tula Cabone. This is how I chop it up. But man, listen, man, for the most part, hey man, we love you on the show.
Love you guys, man. I appreciate
we
that.
appreciate you giving us the time and space.
Thank you.
Brother
Rue, it's all because of Brother Rue. It's all because of Brother Ruel.
Let me say this. That brother told me his name means angel. How many brothers? And he didn't say killer. He didn't say beat down. He said,
right.
my name is Angel. And brothers got to learn, man, your name is significant.
That's right.
When you go to somebody, yeah, my name is Killer and Choker. I mean, I want to be able to
I want to talk to you.
I take you to my house, you say, yeah, my name Killer. Oh, no, you can't even come to the door.
Sorry, Killer.
Bro, you can't. So we got to be careful. So shout out to you. Shout out to you other brothers, too. You know,
that's my manager right there. He came in late, Sir Kevin.
Sir Kevin. All right, family.
That's my right hand. That's my everything right there. That's Coach Rob, a.k.a. Buddy.
Coach Rob.
Coach Rob about to go pick up 13 kids children right now, as soon as we leave here.
Listen, anything we can do, man, I'm willing to give up a $50 contribution. Contact me tomorrow.
That's beautiful.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm selling cologne. When I sell a cologne, get more money. But I'm selling.
Oh man, that fragrance! I still got it on. I still smell it.
Yeah, that's fragrance.
Are you kidding me?
Man,
Brooklyn, wasn't this Success fragrance good?
Absolutely.
Come and tell them how good it was.
Come on, Brooklyn.
Come on, boo-boo.
I'm gonna make you one too.
100%.
All right.
I know when the children say this over,
100%.
on behalf of Politics
like
and
that.
Poltricks family,
That's right.
I'm gonna give you $50 either tomorrow or Saturday.
Eastside Coach, y'all hear
You know what I'm
that?
saying?
Brother Two is donating $50 to the organization.
And any money that I get, if I start to really climb, I'm gonna donate every month.
I appreciate
I support
that.
a brother in prison.
Amen.
You know,
That's
I
right.
take care of brother. I think we should do that.
We
too.
got to.
Yeah, I reach out.
I got
take
2
care
or
of
3
my-
brothers that's locked down that I take care of.
Yes, sir. So, all right, family. It's been good,
Oh
man.
man.
And like
Thank
we
you for
say,
having me, brother.
Yeah, no
Thank
problem.
you.
No
I
problem.
appreciate it.
Yes,
Like we
sir.
say, politics, politics, you decide. But
All right,
today,
y'all. We got
it's
another
strictly
show.
politics.
Listen, we got
No
another
tricks,
show right
man.
after this at 5:10. Catch our other show, Politics and Politics. But we want to say, brother Chris, thanks for coming on. He will
Thank
be
you.
back. Fire, fire, fire. Peace.
Fire.
Okay, welcome to another show, the final show of Politics of Poltricks. You decide with Tula Cabal and Brother Justin Barnett.
Let's
We want to
go.
say thank everybody for being here today. We had 3 hours, 2 hours we interviewed Brother Jonathan Kenlock, who's running for District 2 Commissioner, and we had Brother Bobby Christian right after that, hour after that. He's running for District 2 Commissioner. Both interviews to me was awesome. So I want to say thank both of the men for coming in. And y'all know what I always say, prayers go up, blessings come down for you. The sound of my voice, God has blessed you to see another day. So let's say amen. Justin, you got anything you want to say?
Oh, I definitely want to say something. I'm glad that the brothers come in and did the show. I'm glad that they did that. We need more of that. We need more people to communicate, and we need that in this area as far as that concern. So I was just totally happy about it. And let's go, man. Let's go. These are the facts right here. So I want to say that. We brought the people out. So that's.
I want to say I want to thank Justin as well, for really putting in the hard work, man, and I'm really getting the people here. I can't thank him enough for that. So, good brother, thank you.
Appreciate
for
that.
putting in the work to make that pop.
And I want to hit you right back for that. That's awesome questions, real questions. And I was kind of waiting for that because I said, man, this is his chance right here. Let's hit him with the questions. So very smooth, rolling off the tongue. I loved it, man. This was good, man.
I know you said you got to get going.
Yeah, I got to get going for a quick second. I'm going to.
That's fine.
I want to intro with you with this one as far as what we was talking about. Just real quick, I'm happy for the candidates, but we did have one topic. I think we was talking about Trump as far as that.
So Trump went to. I mean, and I got to say this. Justin said he was surprised I said it. Trump went to the black journalists meeting yesterday. I think it was National Association of Black Journalists. So the sister, I think she's from ABC News in the blue, she started out questioning Trump. Some people got mad about it. I mean, Trump got offended by it because he said she approached him kind of aggressive in the initial stage of the questioning. She didn't say, how you doing, how's
everything? She gave him a super intro. You was right. She gave him a bad intro.
So, I mean, and what I told Justin, I get it. People don't like Trump. And I'm not saying that I'm going to vote for Trump. I'm not saying that. But we always got to, black people got to have etiquette. We always got to hold ourselves in a high esteem. And personally, I don't like the way that was approached. You can honestly tell she had animosity toward him. Not saying she shouldn't. But at the very least, you say, how you doing? I disagree with your policies. But so I just think that I didn't like that. I didn't like that. So that's what I said.
And hey, so I like that comment that you said you didn't like it, because that's serious right there. I mean, as far as Trump is concerned,
I mean, Justin, we know people don't like Trump. I get it, but Mama taught us to have etiquette.
Yeah.
Mama said no matter what you do in your situation, you always have etiquette, and that's all I'm saying right there. There was no etiquette at that particular time, and it was accepted as okay.
Yeah.
Now, what if she would have approached Kamala Harris like that? I know she agreed with his policies, disagree with his policies, but what if she would have talked to Kamala? Listen, black people got to rise above the occasion, particularly those of us who consider ourselves to be professional. Even if we disagree, you don't invite somebody to your show and try to debate them. You just ask them questions like me and you do. We ask questions and we give them an opportunity to answer. But for that, man, no. I believe in human dignity regardless. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree to that, man. I totally
Do you think they set Trump? Well, let me say this. Let me say it a different way. Do you think that Donald Trump should have went to the National Association of Black Journalists? Period. Do you think he should even went there?
I mean, well, that's why we call the show Politics of Poltricks. I mean, as far as that, you're supposed to be open. You're supposed to be able to go anywhere if you want to, as far as when it comes to politics. So as far as that, I'm not mad at him for going.
Okay. So let's move to. Well, you still gotta go.
I got about like 2 more minutes left.
Okay, so let's have a conversation. The elephant in the room, y'all. The Republicans is attacking Kamala Harris and saying that she said that she was Indian and at one time prior to running for the Attorney General's office, and now they're saying she's saying she was black.
Yeah, this is total distraction. I mean, who cares? Personally, but it's a total distraction. What about more of the issues that's going on with the United States as far as pulling out the race card? It's just,
So you think that's
too
stupid?
much. I think it was too much. I think it was we got other issues to focus on.
Well,
So
all right, Justin. I appreciate you. I will say that I do agree with him on that. But Trump is a distraction himself. You know that.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
some of the stuff he talks about. He lies and say that Tim Scott did something for the black community. And if you do the research, you know that's not even true. You know, now they're trying to disavow themselves from Project 2025, which I think is crazy themselves. But let me say this. Do you think they were shocked that President Biden stepped down and let Kamala Harris become the presidential candidate?
I think that yes, I do. I think they were shocked.
Why you say that?
I think they were shocked because they thought that he was still going to run for president, and now Kamala Harris is in, and so I think it was surprising for me. I think it was surprising for a lot of people for him to step down. So,
Do you think that you think that, and some people say this, that he picked J.D. Vance as a running mate because he felt that Kamala Harris that Joe Biden was going to continue to run in the race?
say that question again.
That he picked J.D. Vance
He picked J.D. Vance
as a vice president candidate because he did not think that Joe Biden was going to step down and not run for president. I mean, that Joe Biden was going to run for president and keep it the same. I mean, Kamala Harris as vice president, J.D. Vance, vice president, Trump and Joe Biden.
Okay, so you're saying that he picked J.D. Vance because he didn't think Biden was going to stand down.
Right, exactly.
I'm not sure. I don't know what's on my mind. Trump's head as far as that.
So let me tell you why I say that. Some people are upset that J.D. Vance is the vice president candidate. Now, because they saying that he's souring Trump, and that they saying that the Democrats tricked him, because had they known that Kamala Harris was not, that Joe Biden wasn't going to run, they would have picked a different candidate for vice president. J.D. Vance got a lot of baggage. He called women that don't have babies cat ladies. You know, I'm just saying, Justin, he does. You know, but that's a problem. You know, he feel that at no level should a woman have control over her body. He does. And when he gave a speech at the RNC convention when he was chosen, it was quiet. There was no fire. When he goes speak, nobody's enthused by him. In fact, what's his name? Elon Musk is the one that convinced Trump to pick J.D. Vance. Okay, you got to go. All right, y'all.
Until next time.
All right, y'all. I got to finish the show by myself. Brother Justin got to get going.
Yeah, I got an emergency,
Okay.
so I got to get to
Turn.
that.
Turn. Okay. All right, family.
All right, man.
All right.
I'll see you.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Tyler.
All right. So
I'll see you later.
So let's have a conversation. The Republicans have buyer's remorse about J.D. Vance. They are upset that they feel that J.D. Vance shouldn't have been chosen and that the Democratic Party tricked them because Joe Biden knew he wasn't going to run, but yet he waited till Trump picked J.D. Vance, and then Joe Biden turned it over to Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is an inspiration to the Democratic Party. What bothers me is when they sit up and call her a diverse equity and inclusion, meaning that Joe Biden chose her simply because she was a black woman and put on a ticket. When I hear people say that she don't have any type of intelligence, I begin to say, well, did they know she was the Attorney General? Did they know she was in the Senate? And if you look at some of her stuff on YouTube, how she cross-examined people on the Senate, it'll make you say, wow, a particular bar, how she debated with Joe Biden. And so when you say stuff like that, it's racist. Nobody can deny it's racist. And let me tell you why. So let me tell you why I say that. In the history of this country, nobody has ever complained about two white men running in the office together. Nobody has ever said that two white men running in office is a DEI hired, which I call DEIWP, right? And I'm just saying this with respect for those who prescribe and say that Kamala Harris is DEI hired. Diversity, equity, inclusion, white privilege. Nobody ever challenged that. If Kamala Harris was to pick a woman, she can't pick. Listen, I done talked to numerous people, and they said that Kamala Harris cannot pick a woman to run because the voters are not ready for a woman to be two women to run for president of the United States. All right, family, the two women are not. They're not ready to have a woman for president and a woman for vice president. And I asked one question. I said, well, why don't y'all say that about white men when they run? The phone number to call in is 313-365-7379. And that's 313-365-7379. Why don't y'all say that about white men that run? Right? Why? In America, the political system is a sexist and a misogynist system. The Republicans are afraid to put a woman as a vice president. They are afraid because in their mind, nobody will pick a woman. But let me say this, and this is what I tell people. Well, you didn't have no problem with Big Mama and Mama took care of you. You had two women take care of you then. You didn't have no problem with Big Mama and Mama taking care of you. At no time did you tell them, I don't want two women to run for president, or I don't think Kamala Harris is equipped to be president. And guys give all these mundane, stupid evaluation and statements. Well, you know how women are. They're emotional. So are men. And then for J.D. Vance to say that women who don't have children have emotion or they're cat ladies, are you for real, family? Are you for real? You know how stupid that sounds? So let's just call a spade. America, in the political system, is sexist and it's racist. Let me tell you why. Before Kamala Harris was chosen by Joe Biden, people thought that Joe Biden was going to resign. And these are so-called progressive Democrats. Let me put it out here. They began to name everybody to run for office but Kamala Harris. I recall watching Abby Phillips one night sometime in June. And she said, well, what about Kamala Harris running? Oh, the guy said, oh, yeah, Kamala Harris too. But why when you mention her? So the racism she's dealing with existed in the state of Vainglory. That's Escalon, meaning that it existed with their own party. That's a fact. But they can't do nothing about the train is rolling now. The train is rolling. Hey, they got white. Oh, we got a call. Oh, that's you. You got white women for Kamala Harris. You got black women for Kamala Harris. You got white dudes for Kamala Harris. You got black men for Kamala Harris. I heard they got LGBT. So she got all these groups of people that's galvanized for her. And why is that? You want me to tell you why? Because Trump don't have no policies. We need to understand the flash, the fame, the glory is over. We have to realize that. If you really look at Donald Trump and his policies, what do he talk about? And I want y'all to really, phone number 313-365-7379. 313-365-7379. Anybody disagree with me, call and have a conversation. Donald Trump never talks about policies, and he lies. And people believe it. I had a young brother tell me at the gym, oh, Donald Trump did more for black people than anybody. I said, no, he didn't, bro. Lyndon Baines Johnson did. And I started breaking it down. I did the voters' rights side, Pell Grants, education, Head Start. I could just stop there. And he said, oh, okay. Because we don't understand the importance of this election. We think it's a game. It's not. And I'm glad that Kamala Harris has galvanized the Democratic base. And let me say this. I respect Joe Biden for what he did bring to the table. So let me say that. Let me give me a drink of water, because I want to have this conversation. We got a call. Go ahead, caller.
Hi, Tina. This is Amanda.
Hello, how you doing, Amanda?
I'm good. And I see that you're doing amazing. I absolutely enjoyed both of your guests. I feel like I really, really love the guests. I like that whole type of show you're doing it. I like other shows you do, but very intelligent guests. I would vote for them, most definitely. I feel like you did a great job interviewing them.
Okay, thank you.
And yes, and I just feel like you are amazing. Justin's an amazing person, and I'm so happy to be one of your guys' number one fan.
Okay, thank you so much.
Have a good day, too.
Okay, you too.
Bye.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that. We appreciate that we enlighten people. And the phone number again to call in is 313-365-7379. That's 313-365-7379. We appreciate that. So, we got another caller? So, because we family, and when I say family, I mean the human family. We need to really have the conversation, right? Because what is it about women that intimidate Republican candidates, right? And I say that because women in general don't make more money than men. And you know who held the bill up? To give women equal pay? The Republicans did. What is it about a woman that intimidates them? I don't get it. And then you try to disbase Kamala Harris. And listen, and let's be clear. If she would not have steamrolled like she did, when she was picked, we found out on a Sunday by President Biden that he was resigning and he was endorsing Kamala Harris. Immediately, 40,000 black women got together. The next day, Roland Martin had 54,000 black men. That Thursday, you had white women. I think it was over 100,000 white women. Then the week after that, you had white dudes. So it was a steamroll, so nobody could question what she did. That she was, in fact, the candidate that had to be in party. Why? So I don't, even if some people try to look at some of her policies, they start, and I'm going to just say it, I'm going to say the elephant that's out loud. Some people are upset at the fact that how she treated black men when she was the attorney general. But I always tell people that when black people come to picking a president, we have always been in a position where we got to pick what they call, and I'm not saying this apply to Kamala Harris, so let me put that out there, the lessons of the two evil. Some of them had horrible histories. Lyndon Baines Johnson used the N-word, 1957. Look it up. He passed the Civil Rights Bill, and he called it the N bill. Facts, he did that. So we can't. President Biden said, if you ain't black, if you don't vote for him, you ain't black. He said that. So we have a forgiving heart. So why can't we apply that same forgiveness to Kamala Harris? Or do we just look for reasons to hate on her? Period. That's the question I'm asking. Some of us, and I heard this before too, Let's have a conversation. Let's have a conversation, family. Some people are mad at the fact that she is not married to a brother, which to me it don't matter. I'm just being straightforward with that. I don't care. That doesn't bother me at all. But to have that type of view, man, I mean, we have to look at her policies and what she gonna do for our people and for American people in general. I think some of the reasons we use, we meaning Democrats, are stupid. And so I was watching something where people say they want to vote for Trump. You ask them why. I'm just tired of the Democratic Party. So tell me what the Republican Party have done for black people. Phone number 313-365-7379. Call in and tell me what the Republican Party in general, and don't give me no lies, have done for black people. What we do know is that they turned down that George Floyd policing bill. We do know that. So now you got a Shannon Massey in Chicago who's murdered in a house. Had that bill been passed, the police officers went to 6 different police departments. 6. But had the George Floyd policing bill been passed, it would have been a red dot on his behavior. Then you had, let's be honest with this, Tim Scott, the so-called Republican, was working on it. But you had 2 Democrats that shot it down. Christopher Sinema, at the Democrats at the time, and Joe Manchin. So let's not, we got to, and the reason I'm having this conversation, because we got to kind of support Kamala Harris, unless we do. So I want y'all to imagine if Donald Trump was in power. I want y'all to imagine January the 20th, 2025, if Donald Trump won and became in power. What do you really think he's going to do for African Americans or poor people? Now, I want y'all to imagine, because listen, let me tell you something. That Project 2025 is real. It was 38 people that comprised that bill. 31 of them was out of his old administration, including Ben Carson and Stephen Miller. If you think that they're not going to implement Project 2025, something's legitimate wrong with you. Y'all need to, you can listen, you don't want to read 900 pages? Go on YouTube and look up Project 2025. They got people that got videos on it explaining it to you in depth. And for those who think it's not real, it's real. Donald Trump just told a group of Christians about 4 or 5 days ago, don't worry, just vote for me, Christians. When I get in there, I'm going to fix it. What is he talking about? We got to wake up, folks. We don't understand the importance of voting. That's why I do shows like this, because we have to understand, and I'm particularly talking to what they call the marginalized poor people. We don't like to vote, right? I heard people say, well, it's rigged. It's already rigged. I ain't going to vote. Then when they pass a law, because your grandma or your uncle or your mama got to get food stamps, and now they done cut the food stamp. Now you can't go over there and eat. Now you see mama and grandma upset. But you didn't want to vote for the person. And I'm not saying all black people fit in the box of food stamps. But let's be real about this. People who are what they call marginalized and poor, we depend on government benefits. We depend on food stamps, we depend on Medicaid, and we depend on the food kitchen, the food pantries, right? We do. We depend on Section 8. Donald Trump wiping all that out on Project 2025. So on January the 20th, when he get in office, that's out. That ain't. So what you gonna do then? Have buyer's remorse that you didn't vote because you didn't think voting was important? And I'm talking to the marginalized, the poor black people. Middle class blacks and up, they understand the importance of vote. Most of them gonna do their civic duty. And if they don't do it, it's because they're disgruntled with the system. I'm talking about a majority of poor blacks who feel there's no interest of voting, But you getting them bridge cards. You getting that Medicaid. Your family getting Social Security. Big Mama getting Social Security. Pawpaw getting Social Security. And guess what happened when they get that Social Security? Let's have a conversation, family. Guess who they call to come over there? Baby, you want to come take me to the store? Big Mama just got a check. I'm going to take you out to eat. Okay, Big Mama, I'm coming over there. Pawpaw got his check. You need something for school? Pawpaw get you a pair of shoes. I can't afford it, but I got you. That's the conversation. Or Big Mama get them food stamps. You tell my Big Mama I ain't got no food, but baby, come over and get my food stamp card. You can get about $40, $50 off of it. So eliminate Big Mama food stamp card and that Social Security check. What you gonna do then? What you think Big Mama gonna do? And that's how we gotta think in terms of futuristic. We can't always think when we vote that somehow we just voting for ourselves. We're voting for people who need our vote in order to keep their benefits. Because let me tell you this, when you was growing up, Big Mama gave them food stamps. Big Mama cooked them eggs and grits when you had to go to school that morning. You didn't have no problem with that. And let's be real, those who are listening or will listen later, who know Big Mamas, who know dads, who know Big Pawpaw, they know they get them food stamps. And ain't nobody gonna turn their plate down. You ain't gonna say, well, nah, Big Mama, I'm straight. I ain't trying to eat your, you can't wait till Big Mama cook on her food stamps. So why would you not vote in order for Big Mama to keep that benefit? That's the question I'm putting out there for those who are marginalized and poor. It's one day, November. You can register. They'll send you to vote. We aren't taught in the black community how to be civically active, meaning we aren't taught politics. And trust me, I come from the mud like you, but I understand the importance of voting. How did I learn? Because how my mom was treated. That's how I learned. I learned when my mama was trying to get food or get programs for us, she was denied because they had changed the rules and the game. And I did not vote. And I did not understand. And I'm like, whoa, what's this? Oh, I wasn't in, let me rephrase that. I wasn't in the position to vote. I was young. So at that time, I learned the game, man. And we got to learn that as poor people. Poor people got to stop dealing with these old false theories. You know, where they pick who they want. Trump gonna win anyway. You know, my vote don't count. But it does count. If it didn't count, they wouldn't be trying to stop you from voting. You really think they ain't trying to stop us from voting? I just had Brother Jonathan Kinlock on my show today. And let me tell you what former President Trump did in 2020. I think it was November 17, 2020. I think that's what he told me. When they got ready to certify the elections in the city of Detroit, it was 2 Republicans and 2 Democrats canvassers. The 2 Republicans, whom happened to be a white lady and a white man, they didn't want to certify the election because you got to have 3 people in order to certify the election so the election can move on for the city of Detroit, the city of Wayne County, for Wayne County. So eventually they did. They said, okay, we vote to certify the election. When they got in their car, this is what he explained to me. When they got in their car on Jefferson, Donald Trump called them personally. This should be on the news. I mean, it was for a minute. Right? This was on the news. Brother Jonathan Kinlock told me, this commissioner of District 2. Donald Trump called and told him, hey, don't go back in the building. Don't sign that paper. I'm going to get you a lawyer. Right? So did Romney's daughter, too. Right? They did that. He did that. So the electors did go back in the building. So they tried to go in and say, hey, we was pressured to vote. They said, no, we ain't doing that. Right? So Brother Jonathan Kinlock told me that people was threatening his family because he certified that election. Now, I'm going to tell you this. if the votes had he given in to pressure and not certified that election, Joe Biden would not be in office right now. Did you hear what I just said? If he would have gave into the pressure and not certified that election after he was threatened, Joe Biden would not be in office right now. And I looked at him, I said, kudos to you, brother. I'm glad you did that. I'm glad you certified that election. But my thing is, and I said it to him, why aren't they talking about this in Michigan like they're talking about Georgia? Because it's the same thing. They got a recording of Trump doing that, saying that, trying to intimidate people. Why am I saying this? Because if your vote did not count, you really think he would have did? That's illegal. That's called voter intimidation. If Barack Obama had did that, called Iowa and told them, 2 black people, hey, don't do that, he would have been indicted. If Barack Obama was in Georgia and told a black governor, hey, I only need 11,000 more votes, he would have been indicted. If Barack Obama had 91 felonies, listen, follow me, y'all, follow me. 91 felonies pending. You got black men, they get 1 felony. They gonna treat you like you done broke out, the temples in Egypt. You out of there. 91 felony. I want y'all to imagine this. Black man, Barack Obama. And he got 34 convictions. Do you really think people will vote for him? I mean, I want y'all, and he got convicted of fraud. Not only that, he got 6 bankruptcies. Now listen, 6 bankruptcies. He was sued for making a false school, and they sued him and won, correct? And he said, now I want y'all to put Barack Obama, and I'm not trying to debase the brother, but I'm trying to give people a connection to what I'm saying. And he said that disparaging remark that Trump said about women. Would we be having this conversation? No, we wouldn't. I mean, let's be honest, family. Listen, what is this called? Politics or Poltricks, you decide. It's racist. If Barack Obama raised his fist in the air, right, on January the 6th, 2021, and he told all them black people, listen, you got about 8,000 black people, we're going to say 3,000 or 4,000 black people out there. And he said, don't y'all, you got to fight for your country. I'll meet you up there at the White House. You think he wouldn't have got impeached? Now I want y'all to think about what I'm saying. Is it logical? He would have got impeached immediately. He would have been indicted immediately. You think the Supreme Court would have said, oh no, well, you on official business, you can do whatever you want to do? Absolutely not. They got brothers that get charged with 2 felonies. They throw them in jail for the rest of their life. Some of these brothers are innocent and they still hold them in prison. Facts. So why are they in love with Trump? And a lot of people say, and I'm going to just put it out there, that it's a white Christianist nationalist, meaning racist white people, who embracing Trump because they said Trump said, make America great again. So my statement has always been, when was America great, Trump? Explain this to me. Make America great again. When was it not great? Explain this to black people. Explain this to the marginalized people. When was America great, Trump? And I ask people that who say that, they can never give me an answer. They can't. So it's a dog whistle. When people talk about 1776, we were slaves. Facts. 12 of the so-called founding fathers were slave owners. Thomas Jefferson was involved with a relationship with a teenage girl. So, I mean, I go, George Washington. Let me tell you what he used to do. He used to pull the teeth out of slaves and put them in his mouth when his teeth fell out, if they mashed his teeth. That's a fact. So when was America great? Explain this to Tula Cabone. Phone number 313-365-7379. Let me take me a drink of water. Let me take a drink. Because you need to explain this to Tula Cabone. My people, meaning black people, up to the 1960s, we were being lynched. Even if we look at lynchings in America, we see the people who participate in the lynchings, and not one of them has ever been prosecuted. So when was America great, Trump? We look at Rosewood. We look at Autumn Town, Seneca, New York, which is now, what's that part? Yeah. We don't get no justice. Even when we use the political system, they always change the rules. The rules change. I was listening to Fannie Lou Hamer. She had to take a poll tax. She had to take the test, I think, more than once. She created her own Democratic Party. Facts. So Trump, so anybody that's a Republican, chime in and tell me, when was America great again? Let me give you the phone number just in case you want to call. 313-365-7379. Let's keep moving. 1960s, we had a lot of black activist organizations who was active in the black community. These brothers was about their business. One of them was the Black Panthers, who started the first school, who started the first breakfast program and what we know now as urgent care. They had volunteer clinics, and they was being killed to intimidate black men not to follow their strength. J. Edgar Hoover said they're the number one enemy of America. How? It was so many bombers in Birmingham, they called it Bombingham. Facts. So tell me when America was great. George Floyd, Sandra Bland, Trayvon Martin, Shannon Massey. You go on and on. So when has America been great for marginalized people, particularly black people? How are you going to uproot that and change it? Then you send these brothers out who are trying to bamboozle black people, Brian Donalds, Tim Scott, to make these false statements about Trump. But Brian Donalds, I showed you on Roland Martin. Anybody go see it? Look, Google Roland Martin talking to Brian Donalds about the programs he didn't. He don't want to vote for reparations. He said he's not voting for the George Floyd policing bill. He's not voting for John Lewis voting bill, but he will vote for Juneteenth. Of course, that's a safe bet for you, and you get the day off. You got Amber Rose speaking at the Republican convention, who got an organization called Slut Walk. Okay, so let me understand this. Have they ever put a white woman up there who was in, and not let me say this, I don't knock nobody for what you do. But when you get up that line to the people, and this election, well, I got a problem with that. Have they ever put a white woman to speak at any Republican convention that has an organization called Slut Walk? In fact, if you think it's okay, why don't you buy your daughter a T-shirt that says Slut Walk and I'm a part of the organization? That sound crazy, don't it? And she said, I'm voting for Donald Trump. Ain't nobody brainwashed you. You weren't saying that when you was dancing in Jeezy video in 208. We got to be careful as a people how we move. We got people that's marginalized and poor that stay depending on us to fight for their rights. I promise you I do that. I seen a brother on the side of the road of 6 Mile and 75. Brother was out of it. He had long hoodie on. He had long pants on. He was sweating. It was about 80 degrees, 85 degrees. I rolled the window down. You know what I told him? I gave him some money, and I looked at him. I said, don't you ever give up. I don't care what nobody tell you, family. Don't you never give up. He looked at me, he said, I won't, man. I said, stay strong. That's a fact. Now, how many of you that's listening to this right now would do that? And that's universal. We're not talking about just Republicans. We're talking about Democrats and Republicans. I see people, my own people, let's have a conversation, who got these nice, fancy cars. They see these brothers and ride right past them, talking about, I'm going to church. Going to church for what? Help me understand what you're going to church for. Oh, so you buying into that concept of Trump secretly, make America great again? So that what you think, that the brother's suffering? Somehow America was going to get great and he's going to get it together? So, and I'm hitting home with this, make America great again, because tell me when America have been great for black people. Sure, we'd have made some progress. Sure we have. But as a people, as a majority, I was watching The Defiant Lawyer, and I'm going to show that in about 2 weeks. Because Monday, I got somebody coming in talking about senior abuse. But he said that if we measure the wealth of African Americans now, it's about the same as it was during the Reconstruction period. We are under the impression that when we can see black people wearing $1,000 coats and $200, $500 shoes and see them on TV, that expensive stuff, that we the man. No, you didn't make it, and you're probably broke. Did you hear what I just said? You didn't make it. That's an illusion. That's an illusion. And we have to understand that. Period. So when was America great? I mean, I'm waiting for a Republican to call me. A Republican, Democrat, you could be on the fence with Trump. 313-365-7379. Again, 313-365-7379. Tell me when it was great for black people, particularly for black men, poor black men. Let me be clear. Poor black men are being left out of society politics right now. When the Democrats come out and speak most of the time, you know what they say? Oh, we're coming out to speak. We're talking to the middle class. Well, what about the brothers that's marginalized and poor? What about that brother I see on 6 Mile in Woodward that's talking to himself, who just need for you to say, we're going to get you help? What's up with that? So you tell us that, you give up on us. And I'm going to say this, and I don't think I'm going to catch no flack for it. People, what I see in the Democratic Party, and I say this with respect, a lot of the Democratic Party aren't embracing poor black men. And they think, when they talk about justice reform, like everybody that's poor, that's all we think about. We don't. We just want opportunity. But then what they do, they go and give all black women more opportunities than they do black men. And brothers talk about it all the time. They do. But I ain't mad at that, because it's not their responsibility to a certain degree. And I say that with respect. I say that with respect. I cheerlead my sister. I'm all in. Fight the power. I'm all in for that. But please don't forget about your poor brothers that's on the corner, who need just a kind word of encouragement. Because in the 60s and the 50s, you would encourage that. You would encourage that brother, because your mama would have made you a big mama. Go out there and take that boy something to eat. Y'all know he ain't right. Ain't that what Big Mama used to say? We was growing up, we had a little more respect for the community. Now we on the illusion that we free. Somehow you free because your money is your foundation. That's nuts. I told this to somebody. They don't believe that Donald Trump is getting black men to vote for him. I disagree with that, because I'm out here. Donald Trump is focusing on the marginalized black men, the poor black men, the rappers who got felonies in Brooklyn. I go on and on about brothers who we associate with, and the first thing the commentators say on these main news stations, oh, he's just a felon. But they don't know that felon can influence 100,000 people to vote for Trump. I'm sorry. That felon can influence 100,000 people to vote for Trump. That brother you think is downtrodden because he was homeless or his position was, and you don't have nothing to do with it. He'll go break bread with him or send Brian Dowdles or Tim Scott out or Ben Carson. He convinced them brothers that he really cared about them. And by them brothers not being savvy enough or intellectual enough to understand there's more to it than that, they don't even question it. They inherently believe, because Brian Dowdles come smoke a cigar and Tim Scott talk the language, that Trump really care about them. He don't even care about them. And that's because the Democratic Party don't reach out to him. I have not seen the Democratic Party walking around on 6 Mile and Woodward talking to the people. I have not seen the Democratic Party walking on 7 Mile and Grassley, Somerset and Cashew talking to the people. That's a whole voting block of people that you could tap into. But you ain't got to, because I'm telling you this. Donald Trump trying to tap into him. And I hope that he do not convince them to vote for him. But I'm saying this to you, those who are Democrats, please go and start having an outreach to these marginalized brothers. Have brothers come from where they come from. They go out and talk to them on why they should vote for the Democrats. Period. And that's just how it goes. Y'all, I got about 3 more minutes. Nobody called in. 313-365-7379. Again, call and tell me how Donald Trump said America was great again. Was it when the Nazis were marching, I think it was North Carolina, South Carolina, and he said it was good people on both sides? I ain't never been a good Nazi. Was it when he debased black people? Was it when he talked about the 5 brothers in New York that were falsely accused of raping that woman who so happened to be white? Trump took out a big ad in the New York Times and said they should be given an electric chair. To this day, he's never apologized to them, even though they've been exonerated of the crime. So when was America great again? I'm waiting. Hey, God's will, we'll be on next week. You got a right to call in and tell me when was America great again, right? Because I haven't figured the game out. And it's not but a bamboozle, man. It's more of a simpleton type. Have you ever met a guy, and I'm getting ready to close in a minute. Have you ever met a guy that talked real slick, a girl that talked real slick, and she done had 5 or he done had 10 girlfriends, and then he start talking to you, you fall for the banana in the tailpipe. And then you say, damn, I can't believe this guy ripped me off, and I done had a baby or get a girl pregnant, she trying to rip you. But you already knew that the snake bit. It came to you like a grass snake, but it was a rattlesnake. All you had to do was listen to the rattlers, and it bit you. And then you get mad because you voted for Trump and he sank your parade, or Big Mama parade. All right, y'all. I'm going to wrap it up. I appreciate Mr. Tyler sitting there the whole 3 hours. I hope y'all enjoyed the show today. Catch me Monday at 5 o'clock on Real Talk with Tula Kabone, www.fm881whpr.com. Catch Let's Talk with Simple Lady T at 4 o'clock Monday. Same thing, WHPR 88.1, WHPR 88.1fm.com. She got a fire show, so get at her. All right, y'all. Peace, power to the people, power to the people, power to the people.